Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to the show. I said hello everyone. Welcome to the Brother Derrick Special Show. We on the late night. Y'all gotta let me know how the quality is gonna look. We're using a base of 2560 by 1440. Mixed down. 2K by 1125, 16 by 9 ratio, basement 2K. So our base is what is really considered 2K, 2560, mixed down. So we're missing 560 in the width, and we're missing about 100 and something in the height pixels. I'll take it. Let's see how it look. Anyway, how y'all been? Let me know how y'all been. Y'all saw me fall on those inline blades. I fell twice. The second time I forced myself down and I put my shoes on. But that night I didn't feel anything. Till later on. My back was killing me. It was like on the side that I fell on. Wouldn't let me do anything. So we didn't come on. Then I took some aspirin at the risk of setting off my pacemaker. And the back pain went away. But then I got a neck pain. I mean, I couldn't even lay down on a pillow. I had to hang my head off the bed. So I'm glad to be here. I'm watching the OBS. We have 40% PC usage. I don't like that, but okay. And it says we're green, no drop frames, but yet you can see it. The current resolution is 2000 by it's 1125, not 1124, and they asking for 1920 by 1080. We don't want that. This what got me in trouble, messing around with these resolutions. That's how they took my channel. So alright. They asking anything about the energy. I ain't worrying about that. They'll go away. They asking for more power. Well, let's get on with the show. We ain't gonna worry with that. We ain't gonna worry with that. We got a show to do. A lot of people. Y'all saw me on the panel. Those of y'all that watched the Nike Girl chat. Kind of exciting over there. I almost felt like I was on one of the old roast chats. I try to stay neutral. And I was saying, let's end it, y'all. Let's make up. Let's just let it go. And of course, I got attacked. I went ham. I calmed myself, though. But that's why I don't like to go into those roast chats. But I had a wrench in that chat. And I didn't ask for it. So I got to go defend it. I got to go defend that chat. But I'm glad they squashed it. I had tried to squash my problems with 7 early in the week, and I thought we did. Now, I don't know. Do I really care? Not really. Because I made my home in Nike Girl chat, so that's where I hang my head at. Her chat, Laura's chat. And then I'll go see Francis and check out other people. I'm probably gonna check out some people when I get off. I had another title for this show. Let me see if anybody came in the chat. Okay, we got a problem. The chat not showing up. Hold on. Why the chat not showing up? Hey, how you doing, Snazzy Girl? What's going on? Hey, I was on the Nike Girl show. And see Miss Poppy here from Miss Francis' channel. That's another channel I frequent. Matter of fact, I was over there before I came here. How you doing, Miss Poppy? We got a show planned for y'all today. If this phone don't cut out, it did the same thing it did when I made the mistake and exposed Witchacom's number. It kept shutting down. So let me log in real quick. I hope y'all ready to chat, because we got some news stories to get to. That's the wrong channel. Why am I on that channel? Even more importantly, why isn't it suggesting my show? What? I'm still on the wrong channel. There we go. All right, I'm looking at myself, and we seem to be okay. Okay, we seem to be okay. All right, y'all. Let me get into the theme song, and then we'll get into the news. Before I go there, hope y'all know we got some good stories. I hope y'all ready. We got some good stories. Not a lot of them, but we got some good ones. One of them centers around YouTube. Get this theme song in a second. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I've been in a lot. I got 50 chats to go visit. Hold me tight, but all you wanna do is fuss, cuss, argue, and fight. See, y'all ain't right. All I wanna do is hold you tight, but all you wanna do is fuss, cuss, argue, and fight. Thank you for stopping by. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD show. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the Brother Derrick show. You other YouTubers, y'all straight greasy. Your whack beef videos sound cheesy. Please, somebody release me. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD show. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the Brother Derrick show. I ain't stressing. I'm here to teach a lesson. I ain't stressing. I'm here to teach a lesson. I ain't stressing. I'm here to teach a lesson. Keeping you other YouTubers out there guessing. So take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD show. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the Brother Derrick show. You other YouTubers, y'all straight greasy. Your whack beef videos sound cheesy. Please, somebody call Jeezy. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the BD show. Take it easy and take it slow. Welcome to the Brother Derrick show. All right, let's get to our first story. Hold me tight. Alrighty, our first story of the day. YouTube user allegedly threatens Google on belief it shut down his video channel. Kyle Long made a cross-country drive with a bumpy stop in Iowa to settle a perceived beef with the tech giant California police say. He hadn't stopped in an hour. He'd done some damage. An allegedly disgruntled YouTube user drove across the country and was arrested before he could settle his perceived beef, perhaps violently, with the California technology giant, police said. Kyle Long, 33, from Waterville, Maine, was taken into custody about 2 miles from the headquarters of Google, which owns the video sharing platform, according to police in Mountain View, California. He was booked on suspicion of making criminal threats. He was being held in lieu of $25,000 bail set at the Santa Clara County Jail on Tuesday. Santa Clara County Sheriff's record showed. The Maine resident, remember now, this guy went from Maine to California. The Maine resident first came on the radar of authorities in Adair County, Iowa on Friday when his car got stuck in a ditch, state police said. Kyle Long was also suspected of vandalizing a gas station restroom, but police let him go because the station owners were not interested in having him prosecuted. While in Iowa, he told a state trooper that he was mad at Google for allegedly shutting down his YouTube channel, which gave instructions to other users on how to boost viewership and earn money, Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Nelson Ludwig said. Ludwig didn't specify what Kyle allegedly said about YouTube. It was just enough to make a call to Maine to find out more. He said, referring to the police in Waterville, Maine, it was just enough to raise concerns. The suspect's father, Kevin Long, told ABC News on Tuesday that YouTube didn't shut down his son's channel. The elder Long said his daughter-in-law, Kyle Long's wife, was the one who disabled it because it was gibberish. His wife took it down as soon as he put up, Kevin Long said. It didn't make any sense. It was dumb. It was crazy. Kevin Long added, he showed it to me and it was the most bizarre thing it was in reality. Kyle Long spent 5 years behind bars in Connecticut for a manslaughter conviction for driving his car into a utility pole, which killed his classmate passenger in 2002, according to prosecutors and prison records. The younger Long has been in and out of jail on and off psychotropic medications ever since getting out of prison in 2008, according to the elder Long. The father said he hoped this latest arrest would lead to his son getting the psychiatric help that he needs. Knowing your friend died and that you were there and responsible, the nightmare started taking over after he got out of prison, Kevin Long said. In Iowa, Long informed state troopers he was on his way to Mountain View, California, to meet with Google after his YouTube channel had been shut down, which he claimed was the result in him losing money, according to a Mountain View Police Department statement. On Sunday, Waterville, Maine police notified us they had received information that Long was not only in California, but that he had stated if his meeting with Google personnel did not go well, he was going to resort to physical violence, the statement said, referring to Kyle Long. Local police were stationed around the Googleplex and kept an eye for Kyle Long's car, authorities said. Then about 1 p.m. Sunday, Mountain View police made a high-risk stop of his car near U.S. Highway 101 and Moffett Boulevard, which is about 40 miles south of San Francisco and 12 miles north of San Jose, in the heart of the Silicon Valley, authorities said. He had 3 baseball bats with him. Mountain View Police Chief Max Bowles thanked authorities from Iowa to Maine. We very much appreciated all the efforts that were made across the country to do everything possible to prevent this man bringing harm to others. It wasn't immediately known if Kyle Long had hired an attorney by Tuesday morning. A representative for Google could not be immediately reached. Last year, a woman opened fire at a YouTube office in San Bruno before she fatally shot herself. Jiffy Agdam, 38, had accused YouTube of unfairly holding back advertising profits from a channel. Now, y'all know a lot of people are having problems with YouTube. And YouTube keep flexing their muscle, thinking that, you know, they own everything and can't nobody do nothing to them. Let them keep thinking that. Somebody gonna go down there. Somebody is gonna go down there and shoot that place up. You keep on stepping on people's necks. You keep on putting the boots to people, messing their lives up. You don't know who you messing with. And I can, you know, the guy was crazy, but I can understand. I understand what he talking about. Why are we on this new channel special? It ain't new, but we got it back a couple days ago. I had to juice it up, but we got it back a couple days ago because we got flagged for no reason at all. We got flagged because I did a resolution test. A resolution test is when you want to test the quality of how your live going to do. So you pick a video at random. You make sure you're on private. You live stream for 5 minutes. Then you go back and watch it back. Now, I do this 15, 30 times a day, at least. At least. I fell asleep. I fell to sleep. I woke up 8 hours later. I walked back over to the OBS. It's still going. But the video only went 23 minutes. Now, the video I played was only 6 minutes. And YouTube should have stopped. But the computer kept generating more videos. Y'all have seen it. When y'all watch one video, it suggests something else. Well, I was watching a review on the pay-per-view. Then I watched. That's what I watched. I fell asleep before that even went off. The computer suggested another review, right? And played it by itself. Then it went from reviews of the wrestling. It actually went to an actual WWE match on their channel. An old Elimination Chamber match. I think it was Edge and somebody. What was it? Edge and Rey Mysterio or somebody? YouTube played that. I didn't play that. You see me, like you see me sitting here in the camera. I ain't had no hat on. I ain't had no shirt on. You know, good. Well, I wasn't gonna live stream. My microphone wasn't even on. I usually go over, relax for the 5 minutes, come back, start it again, go lay down and watch the 5 minutes, come back, delete the video. YouTube didn't give me the chance to do anything. Not only did they play the video, they blocked the video, struck it down. Now keep in mind, the video that I hit was only 6 minutes long. On YouTube end, it went for 23 minutes. So YouTube controlled the last 16 minutes. They did everything. Played the videos, struck the channel down, everything. Judge, jury, execution, prosecutor, criminal, defendant. They played all the roles. Then went and told WWE that I streamed that video. I didn't stream anything. Now, if I was a wacko, I might get on the boat and go down there, or get on the bus and go down there, or get on the plane and go down there. If I was a wacko, I'm not. My only mistake was I fell asleep. But the video was on private. Nobody saw it. No crime was done. You gotta play the content in front of somebody. I didn't play anything, they did. And try and stick me with it. They made the mistake. I admit you was wrong. You won't. You will when somebody come down there and shoot their place up though. Because I'm not gonna shed a tear. I guarantee that. I'm gonna be doing a story too, right here on YouTube. Keep throwing people like that. So I told them what happened, but I didn't watch the video first. Mistake. But I told them what happened. Today, WWE said, strike them down. I appealed it. Now I gotta wait for the appeal to come through. I broke it down from the top to the bottom. I'm telling you, if WWE strikes down that video, when that video wasn't titled nothing about the WWF, It wasn't titled nothing about it. It was a self-defense video. And we did do it. We did the video. We had to do it on another channel. We did it on the other Brother Derrick show. Not Brother Derrick show. Brother Derrick Style. We did it on the other Brother Derrick Style, the smaller one. The show was done. But it had nothing to do with them. And the fact that YouTube played the two videos, the second one he played, which is the third video on the video, YouTube played that. YouTube played that content. They played it. I didn't play it. You see me get up. As soon as I started, I got up and walked away. You don't see me hosting. You don't see me talking. If it's a show on self-defense, why am I going to show some wrestling? Wrestling ain't real. Wrestling is staged. So why would I be doing self-defense on wrestling? I'm just saying. If somebody wouldn't talk to me, but YouTube know they wrong, and yet they won't admit it. Their computer did that. Their computer delivered the strikes. Their computer notified WWE without them watching the video. If they watch the video, if they see everything I just told you, they would have seen it. I would have woke up, deleted it, everything gone. I can't delete it now because once you delete a video, you cannot fight it. If you delete it, you cannot fight it. So it's sitting there. It's still on private. It's never seen the light of day. But instead of them saying, you know what? We messed up. We jumped the gun. We messed up. We jumped the gun. Show is not labeled WWE. I played that review. And the only reason, because I normally do the nature stuff. Y'all be seeing me with the drones and, you know, the 4K nature videos. I usually play them. Or Samsung got a couple of test videos where they show you different things and you see how the computer is encoding them, right? I was getting tired of that. I wanted to know what happened on the wrestling, so I hit the wrestling review. That means a YouTuber like me sat there and reviewed it. Now, if that person would have struck, I would have found out about that 5 hours later. But I would have woke up and deleted it before I even would have even seen that he had. But he didn't complain. The one that I played didn't complain. The second one that YouTube played didn't complain. The third one was off the WWE channel. I don't know how you went from reviews to actually copyrighted events, but that's what YouTube did. The computer did it. And instead of YouTube saying our computer made a mistake, they going full ahead. They won't admit they were wrong. But then you wonder why people keep going up there and trying to shoot people there. You don't understand why, but I'm telling you why. I understand. Because it make you want to go bust somebody in their head. Now, luckily, I'm not monetized. So I'm not losing no money. But it is inconvenient that I got all these people sub to that channel. And now they wondering where I am. That means I got to go back into all those chats and get all them people and bring them back. So the more you get ahead, the more you get yanked back. But I understand. But don't say it was something Brother Derrick did. If I live stream something, I titled it, "What you talking about?" I'm talking to people like I'm talking to y'all now. I'm doing a live stream. If it's on private, only me and YouTube can see what I'm doing. Only me and YouTube. YouTube should have been able to say, this video is on private. They should be able to look at the title and say the title ain't got nothing to do. What we talking about? You figure somebody got a brain would say, this is a misunderstanding. This is a mistake. Our computer jumped the gun. Let's fix this. Instead, they're going full force ahead. So, the next time somebody go down there, am I going to be upset about it? Nope. I'm going to be sitting here grinning. You want to do people like that? Then you take the consequences. Because I know I ain't the only one. I know I ain't the only one. But those people had money on the line. I didn't. I just had the hard work of building that channel up. Now, at the same time, I got this channel back. And actually, I got more subscribers now than I had on the channel that got took. And I still got a lot more people to add, which means we should be hitting 300 before the end of the week. Maybe 320. Once I get everybody back on here. But a lot of my people not here because they don't know about the channel. Not to mention this 1 in the morning, but you know, still, I understand. And I'm not going to shake my head. When we show the video, I'm going to be sitting there grinning. You think you got all that money and power? You think somebody won't come up there and shoot you? Go ahead. Keep on thinking that. Keep on picking on little people. They going to get fed up. Keep on bullying people. They going to get fed up. They going to retaliate. And I'm going to grin. Anybody got any comments? Nope. Let's move on to the next story. I'm trying to go from oldest to newest. Ohio officer forced women. Ohio officer forced women to have sex before releasing them, feds say. Columbus Vice Squad officer Andrew Mitchell, 55, was arrested Monday and faces a detention hearing this week. A longtime police officer, of course this got to be Columbus, Ohio, a longtime police officer forced women to have sex with him under the threat of an arrest, pressured others to help cover up crimes, and lied to federal investigators when he said he never had sex with prostitutes, according to the charges unveiled Monday. Columbia's Vice Squad officer Andrew Mitchell, 55, this man is 55 years old, was arrested Monday and faces a detention hearing this week. He is charged with witness tampering, obstruction of justice, making a false statement to federal investigators, and deprivation of rights under color of law. The language used to describe crimes committed by police officers while on duty. A federal indictment accuses Mitchell, a 30-year-old veteran, of arresting 2 different women and forcing them to have sex before he would release them. Later during the federal investigation, Mitchell lied when he told the FBI he never had sex with a prostitute, since Mitchell knew he has had sex with numerous prostitutes, including having paid women money for sex, according to the indictment. Mitchell has also been investigated by state authorities after police said he fatally shot a woman who stabbed him in the hand while sitting in his unmarked police car. Donna Castleberry has struggled with drugs and was likely working the streets as a prostitute, her family said. She left behind 2 young daughters. Committing the alleged crimes while on duty is not marriage, breach of trust, said Ben Glassman, the U.S. attorney for the southern half of Ohio. We rely on the police to serve and protect us, and when you have a police officer who commits a crime, that is a very serious breach of trust, he said. Police officers take an oath to the Constitution and promise to obey federal, state, and local laws, said Thomas Quinlan, interim Columbus police chief. The community has every right to be disgusted by the news, as well as everyone who wears this badge, he says. Mitchell plans to fight the charges and to enter a not guilty plea, his attorney said. That don't make no sense. That don't make you can't even trust the police. Hey, Don dear. Ain't no Don neighbors here. Sorry, I didn't see you, Don dear. If you watch this back, I said hi to you. You know, people don't. Miss Poppy said, no, you can't. People don't understand. You supposed to be able to trust the police. You got a man that's been working 30 years. He's a dirty cop. What else has he done? When you see something like this, you have to wonder, how many other women has he done this to? 30 years. What about his wife at home, who now needs to go get herself checked out because her husband is messing around with known street prostitutes? He can have anything. So now she's got to go get checked and still be in a supportive role while she praying her test results don't come back with no hepatitis, don't come back with no HIV, no herpes, no gonorrhea. So not only did he let down the community, he let his family down. This is crazy. And the sad part is, like I said, I bet you he got a wife and kids. I guarantee you. And yet he out there acting a fool. Why would you want to mess around with a dirty prostitute? I'm sorry. I value my body. This is the vessel that I was given. This was the vessel that I was given. It ain't the best vessel. It ain't the best looking vessel. Because, you know, I wouldn't mind being 6'4". Some things you can fix. Hopefully, the 21st, I'll finally get to the doctor's office. Hopefully, I can get a dentist referral. We can start working on these teeth. That's something I can fix. But I'm saying, you are a police officer. You years away from retirement. Here in Baltimore, you do 20 years. At the 20 years, you can retire. He's been there 30. Bible said she was a mom of 2 girls. That's why I say I really have to wonder about the world today. I mean, seriously, people always talking about they want to be the king of this, the king of that. They want to be the top of this, top of that. Bible says he wanted to stay on to abuse more women. Probably so. It's probably a lot more that ain't came for it. He probably got trail of them. They already said it was a woman that he was trying to mess with, and she stabbed him in the hand. He shot her. If you were in a car with a woman, why would you have to shoot her? You can't control a woman? It probably says that they remind you of someone's friend. I'm afraid to ask who. Bill Cosby? I can't believe that he had the gall. I mean, just imagine if you was a young lady and a cop came up to you and told you, look, I want you to perform these acts for me. If you don't, I'm going to lock you up. It would be like, I'm going to lock you up. That man did that for 30 years. You don't know how many victims he got. He was so close that he could have been retired. Now, he's going to lose his pension. Now he got to find a job. It's probably going to be an underpaid security guard somewhere. If somebody would take him. With him coming out of jail, him having a police background might get him a security job. He's 55 years old. If they take his pension, he in trouble. If they take his pension, he in trouble. So instead of retiring and having $1,500, $1,600, $1,800 a month to live on, he gonna wind up getting SSI rates like 700. Gonna be trying to live on $755. And when he get out of jail, if he do 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, he 55. He gonna be too old to work anyway. Hey, Nye, what's up, sweetie? He gonna be too old to work anyway. 30 years. Why would you risk a 30-year career to mess around with slimy prostitutes? People are mentally ill. I don't get it. I don't care how good a streetwalker looks. I know what she do. I don't want to touch her. I'm being honest with you. Touching her is just like touching a homeless person. They've been living under the bridge. I don't know what she got. I don't know what the heck he got. I don't want to touch neither one of them. This probably said he is slimy, friend. Those ladies are human beings. Yes, they are human beings. But if you're a married man and you're in law enforcement, why would you want to touch them? Why would you want to even be considered that somebody might think you might want to be with them? You upholding the law. You got the trust of the people and the citizens of your state. I would like to think that you could go and handle some prostitutes without trying to lay up with them. That's all I'm saying. Utterly ridiculous. What men will risk for nothing? Let's keep it going. Oh, this is heartbreaking right here. Because somebody did this to me once. Luckily, it was a little stone. Texas mother, 33, killed by rock thrown from interstate overpass. Kelly Flores, 33, died Sunday morning after being hit by a large rock thrown from a railroad overpass in Temple, Texas. Let's get it. All right, this is our first video. Hope it go well. I wasn't fast enough, dog, right?
We make technology that moves people. This is the 2019 Nissan Rogue, featuring tech like ProPilot Assist. It helps keep you centered in your lane and in control.
All right, here we go. We're back. I had to mute it.
It happened so quick. It literally, like, the front windshield just, like, exploded.
It happened in a second. The quiet family trip to Austin became the weekend when 3 children lost their mother, and Chris Rodriguez lost the woman he loved, Kyla Flores. At first, he didn't realize what was help of a complete stranger. He started CPR.
This individual stopped and helped me. He didn't have to, but he did.
They worked until the ambulance arrived, but Flores eventually passed away the next morning. Temple police say it's never happened before.
This is the first time we've ever had an incident such as this.
But more importantly, it should never happen again. Police say the person who threw the large rock will be Flores back. Rodriguez wants it to be crystal clear what this senseless act cost him.
She was the joy of life. And to take that away from her kids, her family and friends.
Because while Rodriguez hopes the person who did it gets what they deserve, he says no one deserves what happened to them.
I don't want nobody in the world to ever have to go through this pain.
That's a daggone shame. That is a shame. That is a shame. That is a shame. I just don't get it. And it's the youth. And let's not sit here and act like we hold it in now. Y'all know that y'all broke bottles in the parking lot. I can't stand when you get glass in your shoe because some young idiots are breaking glass bottles. They think it's cool. But you probably said I hate driving on the highway. I take the back streets. But this is not new. People have been doing water balloons, rocks, sticks, baseballs. What would possess you to want to hurt somebody like that? You must really be hurting on the inside for you to want to commit that. You know they driving at 50 miles to 85 miles per hour, and you're throwing something, and you got that coming down, whoosh, the impact. Why would you think that that is funny? I don't understand. Miss Poppy says she hates driving on the highway. She take the back streets. Miss Poppy says, not me. My mama would have heard and beat my butt. Miss Poppy said, and my mama used a strap. You were lucky. My mama used whatever she could find. The iron, chair, the piece of wood that we use on the sliding glass door so you couldn't break in. Whatever she can get her hands on. But I just don't understand, why is that cool? Why do you get together, you know, with 2 or 3 buddies and you ain't got nothing better to do but then to go hurt people? At least go, and I'd rather you go and start a fight individually than to do that. That's just cowardly. The person driving has no chance to stop. You know how long it takes to stop a car driving at 65, 70 miles per hour? You need at least a good 100 feet to stop. And you gonna tell me that you throwing a boulder, and it was a big boulder. And think about it, it went through a windshield and killed somebody. That's just crazy. That's almost like something being shot out of a gun. Because you're driving at that speed and somebody's throwing and gravity's pulling it down. It's like, bam. Miss Poppy says, once hit me with a sneaker so funny, I couldn't stop laughing. She was a bad aim. My mother wasn't. She was not a bad aim. Ain't nothing worse than her waiting for you to get into the shower. And you know them kind of shower doors that's sliding and only one of them open, the other one don't. You slide open and come in and out. She had you trapped. You can't go nowhere. She'll turn the cold water off. Then you got the hot water on you, and she beating you with a curtain rod or a stick with whatever she brought. I'm telling you. That's why I keep inner city kids are so tough because of that reason. People don't understand. They are so tough because of that reason. But that's a daggone shame that young lady is dead now. That mother is dead. And they're in Texas, boy. You know they ain't gonna play in Texas. Somebody gonna be looking at that chair. If they still use it. Did they use lethal injection now? All right, this story here, it ain't big news, but I think it's something interesting that most people might not have paid attention to. Because I find it strange that Afghanistan is releasing all this information, but we were looking for bin Laden. They wouldn't do it then. I just find it strange. But Taliban leader Mullah Omar hid in a mud house in Afghanistan, militant group says. He used to sit there in the sun, and there was a small garden where he would spend some time, a spokesman for the militant group said. So this is what they talking about. This is where the man was hiding at. The military was looking for him. They had bin Laden there too for a while. Peshawar, Pakistan. The Taliban had released photos of a modest mud house in southeastern Afghanistan where they say longtime chief Mullah Muhammad Omar lived for years until his death. So we never found him. Its claim is at odds with long-standing U.S. and Afghan intelligence theories that the one-eyed militant leader hid in neighboring Pakistan after the group was toppled in 2001. A $10 million bounty had been offered for Umar, who sheltered an Al-Qaeda leader who sheltered Osama bin Laden before the 9/11 attack. Shoot, we need to go. We still wouldn't got that money. We needed to get some daggone Tech Nines and give them the boot. $10 million? Shoot. The Taliban have always maintained Omar lived in Afghanistan until he died in 2013. The group, which waited until 2015 to announce Omar's death, imposed its harsh version of Islamic law on most of Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001. Since when, Taliban militants have been fighting to overthrow the U.S.-backed government in Kabul. The group has recently been involved in peace talks with American officials. So how come these Islamic people can keep fighting against their government, but the South American people won't fight against their governments? They want to run to the USA. These people are fighting the U.S.-backed government. But you telling me that these migrants won't fight their governments? They're not backed by the U.S., but they so scared that they leave in droves? Somebody talk to me. Make that make sense, please. Taliban sources told NBC News that Omar lived in Zabul province most of the time after 2001, although he also hid in nearby Urizgan. They said he got much of his news from the BBC's Pashto service, which uses the language spoken many people in Afghanistan. He used to sit in the sun. There was a small garden where he would spend some time. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mahaji said U.S. officials were not immediately available for comment. NBC News was unable to independently verify the Taliban's claims. However, Dutch journalist Bet Dan recently unveiled research suggesting Omar lived near a U.S. base in Afghanistan and never hid in Pakistan. Dan describes what she called a staggering U.S. intelligence failure in her book, Abzork Nar Di Vijay, Searching for an Enemy. According to a summary of the book published this week, she says she spent 5 years interviewing Taliban members. After 2001, Mullah Omar never stepped foot in Pakistan, instead opting to hide in his native land, and for 8 years lived just a few miles from major U.S. forward operating base that housed thousands of soldiers. So they were living right under our soldiers. American forces once searched the house Omar was staying in, but failed to find his hiding place, according to Dan. An aide to Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani described Dan's claims as delusional. We have sufficient evidence which shows he lived and died in Pakistan, period. Ghani spokesman Harun Hazuri said of Omar in a tweet. The Afghan government and the U.S. officials have long accused Pakistan of sheltering and supporting militants, a claim denied by Pakistan. But one thing we do know, even with a $10 million bounty on his head, we never caught him. He died. We never got to punish him. 2, he housed Osama bin Laden, the man responsible for the 9/11 attacks. That's terrible. Poppy said kids need a butt whooping. He said, who is this guy? She says, man, I could use a piece of that. $10 million. I shoot. Give me 1,000. I'll be happy. So, Miss Poppy says, call the Mexican government is crooked. Cops kill folks all day. Well, I'd rather be killed than be bombed. But they willing to blow themselves up. They willing to blow themselves up to maintain their way of living and what they outline for their children. They willing to blow themselves up. But you got people running. I'm sorry, I'm not going to spend the whole summer on foot trying to get to some place that don't want me. When I got a place, I need to take care of the people at the place I got. Why can't them 7,000 people pick up some guns? Why can't they pick up some axes, pick up some hatchets? And why can't they go to work? You know, if those Taliban people can do it, You understand what I'm saying? I thought that Mexican supposed to be so tough. Why can't they go kick that military butt and take over? And say, we running this now. You got 7,000 migrants that left. Them 7,000, that's an army. And a lot of people in that military are related to them. They're not going to be fighting full-heartedly because they're going to be killing their own relatives. They're going to be killing grandma and granddad and Uncle Lou. But you got to have. Miss Poppy says, I thought I was broke until I saw how many poor Mexicans live and under the constant threat of cops. That's why they have to fight back. They have to unite and fight back. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to fight back. If you ain't got nothing to fight for, why are you alive? You already did. People don't want to fight no more. Think back. We always talk about the Great 300. What was so great about the Great 300? They fought, and they fought well. They are trained to fight well. But they don't tell you, and I've said this several times, a lot of those countries over there, near Greece and Rome, Spartan, if you had a child that was deformed, you left them. Especially the Spartans, they would leave them on the side of the hill. You wasn't 100% perfect, you were left on the side of the hill. That's why people seem surprised when they found out that foreign lady, her daughter, her teenage daughter had a child. She came in the bathroom, saw the teenage daughter having a child. She dropped the child, called the husband. The husband called somebody else. They went and buried that child. Probably on the side of the hill. But that was what was done. I can understand that's what was done. But you're not in your country. You're in a different country. In this country, the unborn have rights. Maybe in your country they don't have no rights. Maybe the women don't have no rights. Maybe the children don't have no rights. Over here they got rights. You got to respect that. But it's that kind of callousness. That's what you need in a soldier. Not in a politician. You need that in a soldier. Those people kept fighting even though they didn't have a chance in the world. And like you said, they taught poor people into thinking that they're going to get 72 virgins and they're going to eat and drink and fight all day and have sex all night. That's what they believe. Well, somebody need to get a religion to some of these third world countries and let them get together and fight. Let them get together and fight. Ms. Poppy says, but the Taliban are evil. They're under the guise of a lie. She said the poor Arabics are brainwashed in the mercy killing because they have no money, no education, no jobs. The poor do not have access to weapons because they are poor. Weapons cost money. How can they attack with what? Poor people of any race or gender are constantly exploited because they are in great need. The poor do not have access to weapons because they are poor. Weapons cost money. If you got mass, we'll go to weapons. Do you realize how many Chinese people there are in China? They have more people per square inch. The only other place that has more people per square inch is South Korea. if every one of them picked up an axe or something, and you stand there trying to shoot, and they keep coming and you shooting and shooting and shooting, and they steady coming and swinging and swinging and swinging, at some point, everybody holding a gun gonna have their head cut off at some point. You get a mass of people together, you might have a good army of 300. Maybe a good army of 1,000. If 25,000 people attack, what are you gonna do? No matter how many bombs you drop, you still gonna have thousands of people coming at you. And it gets tiring. Keep setting them bombs off. Keep constantly firing. And people still coming at you. And they throwing stuff at you and hitting you with stuff. And you still... The people come together and want to fight and want to turn back around, they're going to be hard to stop. I'm dead serious. They will be hard to stop. That's how we defeated the British in the Revolutionary War. We didn't have money. We didn't have guns. But we knew how to hide. We knew the place. They knew how to hide and jump out, jump on them from behind. People still marching. Half the daggone army took out. They still marching. Don't even realize it. All in the same order. They had attacked from behind and came out from under the swamp, out the weeds, out the bushes, and just grabbing people and taking them down. Hey, don't even realize it. They so busy marching in order. Just don't even realize it. They was able to use what we call nowadays street tactics. They knew the land better than, they just got off the boat. They don't know where they're going. They was able to use the land. You say no, Axe versus AK said you serious or a bomb. You can kill a village. If you kill everybody, who you gonna rule over? You gotta have poor. If you kill all the poor, then the middle class start fighting the rich. Because now the middle class is poor. They're not gonna take that. So they're gonna fight back. Still gonna have a war. Now you say an AK-47, you're right. AK-47 can only hold so many bullets. It's the same reason that me and Miss Snazzy got into it. Because I said that if you got a school shooting, you got 30 kids in the classroom. And he trying to shoot each one individually. If 6 or 7 jump on him, he might get the first person. He might get the second person. He might get the third person. But there will be 24, 25 lives saved. Because eventually, you're going to tackle him, take the gun from him. And everybody shot me down in the chat. We came back 2 days later with a school shooting. And guess what happened? I told y'all 6 or 7 people. It took one person. One teacher. He saw the boy come in and shoot somebody. He was going to shoot somebody else. He went. That boy hit him 3 times. He still tackled the boy and got the gun away. That one person did it. That one person got hit 3 times. He is a hero. He should never have to work another day in his life in that time. That man should have a GoFundMe with millions in it for the people in that town. It took one person. Imagine 6 or 7 people where it came. One might get hit in the shoulder. One might get hit in the leg. You keep coming. You got to stand up to evil. You can't just lay down. They're like, oh, you crazy. I wouldn't tell my child to help nobody. So you rather your child just sit there and get shot. Just sit under the table and wait for him to come shoot you. I say pick up a chair, pick up a desk, do whatever you got to do. Do what you got to do. That man got shot 3 times and still tackled the guy and got the gun from him. You are poor because you allowed yourself to be poor or you got sick. Because some of the best soldiers, some of the best fighters are poor. They ever got together and said, you know what? Let's just take this over. They ever got together, they could do some damage. We seen videos where somebody has charged the cop and the cop shot them point blank and they still got speared out of their boots. Other police officers still had to come over there and help handcuff the suspect. Dude speared that cop out of his boots and he shot 1 or 2 times point blank. So just as you got a gun, that don't mean, just because you got a gun doesn't mean the person with the gun gonna win. Now suppose that dude would have had 5 other people running with him. You think they wouldn't have beat the crap out of them 4 cops? You sat there and shoot somebody twice and they still beating you up. They gotta be pulled off. Suppose 4 or 5 of his buddies have been out there. What do you think would happen to them cops? Miss Poppy says any country has a class system. They need a poor that makes them rich. As of date, the middle class is disappearing. He said actually poverty is a setup in every classification system. It is a setup. But those that are poor wind up being despaired. There's nobody to say, come on, man, let's get up. And when it is, somebody comes and crushes them. But the people allow that to happen. And that's the key. How do you get the people? And somebody always say something like, we need to come together and unite. We need to just come build together. And then when you say, well, how? They ain't got no answer for you. Next time you hear somebody say that, ask them how. The next time somebody says that, you could even be in a chat. Next time you're in a chat, you hear somebody say, we need to just come together. We need to bond. We need to unite. You ask them how. Ask them how. Because the few that do make it out, they're not going to come back and get you. Because they're afraid you might perform better than them and put them out of job. So there is no unity. Man, I just got here, man. If I bring you on, shoot, you might come embarrass me. They might not hire nobody poor again for a while. They might start going to the colleges. Nah, man. They got more excuses not to let you move up with them because they want to be the man. And instead of saying, you know what, it could be 5 or 6 of us with great jobs. Maybe we can put our money together down the road and build our own factory, get our own company, and then we can hire the poor people that didn't get hired. They never think that way. Because it's all me. I want to be the man. That's why I tell you, God won't use them people. Y'all keep looking for somebody in a suit to come save you. That person is giving that knowledge. They're going to make themselves richer. They're going to have 10 suits. Instead of having 1 car, they're going to have 10 cars. They're not going to do anything to help you. They're going to help themselves to be over you. That's why the rich will never have the answer. Somebody rich will never have the answer. They worry about getting richer. I'm telling the truth. They worry about getting richer. They're not going to think about what's best for the community. They're going to think about what's best for themselves and for their friends. What's best for themselves and for their friends. for those of you who say poppycock, I say to you this. Jesus took the devil to the highest mountain at that time, right to the edge of the cliff, and said, look down here. I can give you all the kingdoms of the world. All you got to do is bow down to me and leave God. Jesus told him no. He said, well, why not? I'll let you rule everything. You can have it all. You know God ain't going to let you do what you want to do. You can have it all, baby. Well, why don't you jump off the cliff? I know the angels going to catch you. God ain't going to let the angels let you die. Jesus told him, you do not tempt the Lord your Father. Devil getting frustrated now. He want to push Jesus out the cliff, but he can't. My point is, if he can offer Jesus every kingdom on earth, that means the stuff down here belong to him. And I keep saying it. Stuff down here belong to him. We living in his world. The object is to stay true to God and get out of it. But it's hard to do when everything around you has the devil's indention on it. When the mark of the beast comes, it's really going to be hard. Hey, Woods Bear says, it's not about being rich as much as it is about setting yourself up to be okay, comfortable in life. There's also nothing wrong with being rich. He continues, but yes, there should be more charity. Woods Bear says, people are more likely to give of their own free will, not so much when it's mandated. People will give it if they think they're going to get something back. But you saying there's nothing wrong with being rich. If you rich and you doing what God wants you to do with that money, but if you just doing you, then it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich person to get in heaven. That's right out of Jesus' mouth. So, I don't think money is the problem. I think trying to hoard it is the problem. Because remember what Jesus told the rich man, the rich young man, strapping young man, told him, come follow me. Go sell everything. Rich man said he wanted to be a disciple of Jesus. So come follow me. Drop everything. Go sell everything you own and give it to the poor. Sell everything you own and give it to the poor. Come follow me. I'm going to show you riches in heaven. That man was like, yeah, what? What? Are you serious? Jesus said it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to go to heaven. You never heard that phrase before. In the New Testament, where did you see Jesus hanging around rich people? Where do you see Jesus hanging around the teachers of the law? When you see him hanging around the ministers and the priests? When you see him hanging around the tax collectors? But hold on a sec. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Give me 1 1 second here. Let me pull this up.
Jesus.
Oh, no, it's a YouTube video. Oh, heck no. 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 Okay. Alrighty. I'm back. Give me a second now. Alright. Can y'all see this on the screen? There's different translations here, so let's go through each one and see if they are consistent. But come over here to the left. The rich young man. Matthew 10:24-26. And the disciples were amazed at his words. But Jesus said to them again, children, how hard is it to enter into the kingdom of God? It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. They were even more astonished and said to another, who then can be saved? They got some references down here. He who trusts in the riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like foliage. We said it. Oh, it's in Luke too. Indeed, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So it's in Matthew 19:24 and it's in Luke 18:25. What's this? All right. Let me see if y'all can see this. Pull the OBS up. Check the chat real quick. Hold on. We get ready to dip into it. Hold on. I'm missing something. Wood said, you like the 10 Commandments. If you break one, are you going to hell? Miss Poppy said, are you wealthy, Bear? Woods Bear said, hey, Poppy. Poppy said, that is a blessing. Poppy said, I'm tired of working, but shelp on. Wood says, I am comfortable, Poppy, and I give to charity. I have 4 kids, 2 grandkids, and my youngest has cancer treatment to pay for. I worked for many years and saved and invested. Naya said, hey, Woods Bears. Said, so I don't believe God will ban me. Woods Bear said, hey, Naya. Poppy said, sorry about your family member. Woods Bear said, thank you. Woods Bear said, it does not mean you can't be rich. Poppy said, oh, I don't know much about this, guys. That is saying money is not the end all. It means you can't buy your way into heaven. Don't worship money. Poppy said, I just know what I was at in Catholic school. Miss Poppy says, that is understandable, Bear. Well, I came across this article, so let's see what they say. One thing about the Brother Derrick Show, we don't run from the question, we answer it. Is it harder for a rich person to enter heaven than for a camel to go through a needle? Money is an important topic in the Bible. We all need things, and it's quite clear that money helps us get those things. Sometimes it can be a delicate balance to maintain a comfortable living while also being generous and following the Bible's commands regarding money. In another article, I discuss what the Bible says about money and wealth. The Bible does indeed include many stories of people having incredible favor with God and at the same time being granted vast material wealth. King Solomon is described as being one of the wealthiest kings Israel has ever known. Abraham had a lot of money, as did King David, Job, and many others. Yet at the same time, we are confronted with several warnings of wealth. A wealthy young man approaches Jesus one day and asks what it takes to get in heaven. What Jesus said is very interesting. Is it easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter heaven? When a rich man approaches Jesus to inquire about how to get into heaven, eternal life, this young ruler must have been greatly impressed with the outward appearances, for when he approached Jesus, he calls him good master. Jesus replies, why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone. Jesus immediately knew this man didn't understand his own need for Savior or his own fallen state. Jesus responds that he should follow the commandments to inherit the kingdom of God. Sounds simple enough, right? Unfortunately, no one can keep the commandments. Jesus is testing this man's heart. The rich man then replies that he has kept all of the commandments from youth. The important thing to keep in mind about this entire account is that this young rich man doesn't understand theology. The Bible clearly teaches that we all have sinned and fallen short of God's glory. Romans 3:23. Yet this young man thinks he's kept all of the commandments since youth. Obviously, Jesus knew better. So Jesus adds one thing. He instructs the man to sell all of his possessions and follow Christ. The man didn't like this too much, and the Bible says he went away with sorrow, for he had great possessions. This young man was impressed with outward things. He did not feel as if he was a sinner in need of a Savior. Instead, trusted in his wealth. Jesus' line of questions and statements cut to the heart of the issue and quickly revealed the man's true motives. Right after this event, Jesus says something interesting. This is what he said. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God. Mark 10:25. This shocked the disciples. At this point in history, if you had money, people thought you were blessed by God. So when Jesus said that it is hard for a rich person to enter heaven, the disciples didn't know what to think. They thought if you had money, you had favor with God. In other words, they thought the richer you were, the easier it was to get to heaven. So they immediately questioned Jesus about this. They asked him, who then can be saved? In other words, they were thinking, what if a rich person is supposed to have God's favor isn't going to heaven? Who on earth is? Jesus then replies that with man it is impossible, but not with God, for all things are possible with God. So notice that Jesus didn't say a rich person won't get to heaven. He just said it's more difficult for a rich person to enter heaven. The takeaway from this story is not that Jesus condemns having wealth. Many great Christians have built large sums of money, and they've been able to bless other Christians and help expand the kingdom of God. In this story, Jesus revealed this man's own sinful heart, and the man didn't like it. He revealed the man's greed, and the man didn't like it. This passage is not a call for all Christians to sell all of their possessions and be homeless. Rather, this passage illustrates the man's own sinful pride and materialism. Jesus cut to the chase and revealed this by telling him to sell all of his possessions. Sure enough, the man couldn't do it and went away sorrowful. What is the eye of a needle? Is it figurative, literal, or what? Some people have speculated that the eye of the needle Jesus is referring to is not an actual needle, but instead a doorway in Jerusalem. Some say there is a gate entrance that is very small and it was difficult for a camel to pass through it. While this may have been true, the most plausible explanation that Jesus is referring to a sewing needle. Of course, this helps us understand why the disciples were so surprised at this statement. A camel going through the eye of a needle is impossible, and it would make the story even more shocking because the sheer impossibility of a camel passing through the eye of a needle. Why is it hard for rich people to get to heaven? The problem with some rich people is illustrated with the man in the story. He backed away from following Jesus. Why? He didn't want to depart from his material wealth. In other words, Jesus clearly says if he simply sells his work and follows him, he gets heaven. Yet he chose money over eternal life in this example. Wealthy people tend to trust in money. Money pays rent, mortgage, buys groceries, buys cars, it can buy us the best medicine and doctors and more. It makes us feel secure. It can buy us great material things. But money isn't the place to put your trust. Where does money help you when you get cancer? Sure, you may be able to get the best doctors and chemotherapy available, but you will still die eventually. You can't take money with you. You can't take your Porsche, house, yacht, or anything else in the grave. Even if you tried, you wouldn't enjoy them. This is what Jesus illustrates when he asked the question, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his own soul? Gain the whole world, yet lose his own soul. This makes incredible sense, and it's so true. If you buy something for $100 and then resell it at $90, what is your profit? Nothing. In fact, you lost $10 in the deal. If you gain the whole world but lost your soul, what did you profit? Nothing. In fact, you lose everything. There is no profit. Death is an absolute fact in life. As the saying goes, death and taxes are the only two certainties in life. So why put your trust in money? It only provides benefit for a short time, yet God's benefits are eternal. So why did some people have money in the Bible? Was it a sin or not? God granted these people in the Bible with wealth. So obviously it wasn't a sin. Why not? Well, first, because God gave it to them. Second, we can see quite clearly that even though they were blessed with wealth, they weren't greedy. They put their trust in God and realized money is just something we need to live on, nothing more, nothing less. We can see many acts of kindness from these wealthy people with their money. Job is talking to God and he says, I was the father to the poor, in the cause for which I knew not I searched out. Job 29:16. We also have stories of Abraham tithing to a king and various other generous acts. In other words, even though these people were wealthy, they put their trust in God. They didn't deny the poor. They weren't attached to money. They were attached to God. Even though they sometimes had a lot of it, though they had wealth, they also tithed, helped the needy, and were generous with their blessings. How much personal money or wealth is acceptable for us to have in God's eyes? What makes us rich? What makes us greedy? The Bible makes no set amount of money Christians can possess. The important part is this: what we do with our money. How do we treat it? Do we put trust in it or God? Are we willing to part with our money? Do we obey God with our finances by tithing, being generous, and helping others, etc.? Here's a quick balance of some of the wealthiest people in the Bible. Job, he ended up having 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camel, 1,000 yoke. Okay, Lord, 1,000 female donkeys, and some other miscellaneous wealth. Job 42:12. Translation, probably several millions in a day's terms. If we estimate one sheep costs about $100 a day's money, so you can see that 14,000 times $100 $1.4 million. That's just the sheep. Again, I have no idea how much a sheep was worth back then, but I assume probably around $100 or at least worth more than that today, since food was more scarce back then, and that doesn't include his other animals. Even if sheep was less, I'm guessing he was at least a multi-millionaire in today's terms. King Solomon. The Bible goes into detail of how wealthy Solomon really was. The temple alone is absolutely extravagant. He had tons of stuff. If I had to estimate Solomon's wealth in today's terms, I'd probably say hundreds of millions, possibly billions. But keep in mind, he had to sustain an entire country with that wealth. So you can consider Solomon as also basically like the natural treasury for this company. Just two examples alone show how a couple of men blessed by God, who the Bible described as being upright and God-fearing people. Again, even though they had these millions, they acquired it honestly, was very careful to manage it, did not deny any poor that they came across, and put 100% in their trust in God. Even notice Job's attitude when he lost it all. It is a true testimony. This is what Job says when all his property is taken away, which would have been millions. Job 20:21. Job arose, tore at his robe, and shaved his head, and fell on the ground and worshipped. And he said, naked I came into my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is a very powerful testimony. Wow. After losing millions, Job is sad, but quickly shrugs it off, and then even blesses God. It isn't how much we make, it's how much we give that is measured. What I find interesting is that God isn't really interested in dollar amounts. This is illustrated in many times in the Bible. The amount isn't important to God. In fact, it reminds me of a joke. A man had a dream and was talking with God. He said, what is 1,000,000 years like to you? God replies, 1,000,000 years is but a minute to me. The man then asked God, what is $1,000,000 to you? God responded, $1,000,000 is like 1 penny to me. The man thought he would be clever, and he asked God, can I borrow a penny? God then responded, sure, give me a minute. That's funny. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. Remember, he said 1,000,000 years is but a minute to me. The man said, can I have $1,000,000? Can I borrow a penny? God said, give me a minute. Yeah, give me 100 million years, I'll give it to you. Yeah, think you're going to live that long? That's funny. So money itself is nothing to God, just like time. But look at an example in the Bible. Jesus sat over against the treasury, and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. 42. And then there came, verse 42. And then came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto his disciples and said to them, verily, I say to you, this poor widow, have cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all she had, even all her living. In this example, people were donating large sums, but the sums were really not affecting their wealth at all. Imagine having $20 million in the bank at 5% interest. You would make $1 million a year in interest. Therefore, you could easily donate $1 million out of your wealth, and it literally wouldn't affect you much at all. In fact, you would still have $20 million in the bank, and it would draw another $1 million interest next year. Yet this poor widow gave almost all she had. She had no interest. She had no wealth. She gave a very small sum and didn't try to call attention to herself. Yet Jesus was more impressed with her offering than he was with the hypocrite Pharisees donating large sums. This just illustrates my point. The dollar amount we make or give makes no difference to God, and Jesus knew this. It is the nature of our heart when we give. I talk about this a lot. When I talk about if you do something nice for somebody, are you doing it in God's name, or are you doing it so you can brag about it? Are you doing it because you really want to do it, or are you doing it so you can go around and tell everybody what you did and get approval from other people? Because if you do that, it doesn't count. To God, it don't count. So why do this great thing and have it put in the book and then turn right around and have it erased because you got to go brag? Yeah, I sure did, and I helped do this, and I did that, and I gave him this, and I sure did that, and it's gone. The person you gave it to, if they want to go tell everybody, that's different. But if you got to do it and go tell everybody, you erase it. You didn't do it for God. You did it for you. You did it to make you look good. That's the impression you leave. So I say it again. The dollar amount we make or give makes no difference to God, and Jesus knew this. It is the nature of our heart when we give. She gave out almost nothing. These others, while it looked like they gave a lot, really, and their hearts were being very cheap in their offerings and just doing it to get attention. Oh, I just said that. Oh, I love it. This reminds me of many celebrities today. They will donate money to someone and then immediately go and submit a press release to get honored for it. The Bible commands us to give in secret. You can give in public, but you get your reward right then and there. If you give in secret, God remembers your deed and rewards you. I would rather have God rewards than society's any day. I just said that. I love it. Should we work for wealth? Is it okay to make millions of dollars? The Bible also gives a story of the master and his talents. A talent is a measure of money. Today we will call it a dollar or something else. The parable Jesus gives is about a man giving his servants talents money. It was their duty to be a good steward of this money. Let's see how this story plays out in Matthew. The first servant was given 5 talents, and he made with that 5 talents more, for a total of 10 talents. This pleased the master, and he gave him even more responsibilities, a raise. The second servant was given 2 talents, and he made 2 talents more, for a total of 4 talents. This also pleased the master, and he too was given more responsibilities. The third servant, however, was given 1 talent, and instead of increasing the wealth, he hid the talent and did nothing. So he was given 1 talent and only had that same talent to give back to his master. His master was furious. He called him a slothful, lazy servant. He dismissed him and gave his responsibilities to the other servants. This story shows us something interesting. We ought to work hard for money, manage our money wisely, grow our money, and then give it back to our master God. Our money is never really our money. It's always God's money. He owns it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making millions, billions, or even trillions, so as long as God is in control of your life, including your finances. Isn't it easy to make millions honestly? And obviously, everyone can't do it. In fact, making the money is the hard part. Giving is the easy part. But there's something inherently wrong with there's nothing wrong with making money. Okay? John D. Rockefeller was the richest guy in the world in his own time. He was the founder of Standard Oil, the first major U.S. oil company. He really built his company into a behemoth company. He was a very blessed man, and if you ever read his biography, you'll see how he really had a knack for business. He was also an extremely devout Christian. He attended church every Sunday, taught Sunday school class, and even tithed 10% since his youth. On top of that, he ended up giving more than half of his wealth on top of tithing over his lifetime, which is in the hundreds of millions of dollars, the equivalent of nearly billions today. Not only that, but he was extremely frugal and tight with his money, and even when he had tons of it, I'm not saying that God was perfect, he wasn't. He did have a golf course on his property, a nice house, etc. But considering his wealth, he was a penny pincher, and actually his property wasn't as vast as others at the time. John D. was so frugal, in fact, he made his first and only son wear hand-me-downs from his son's older sisters. That's right, they dressed their son in dresses from their daughters till about the age of 6. That is frugal and inappropriate. His preacher had told him something interesting one day. He said, John, your purpose in life is to make as much money as you possibly can and then give as much as you possibly can. Those words stuck in the mind of Rockefeller throughout his business career. His story reminds me of the parable above the talents. He thought his purpose was to take the talent God gave him for making money and use his talent to make a ton of it. He then gave large sums throughout his life in addition to tithing to various organizations, hospitals, churches, etc. The only thing a Christian must keep in mind is that they must not let the pursuit of money distract them from other command God gives. Don't be making businesses deal when you should be at home with your wife. Don't be making money while you ought to be in church on Sunday. Don't be counting your bank accounts when you ought to be witnessing to a soul. Don't neglect giving to the poor or tithing to the church when you are considering your new mansion. Can we have luxuries in life? How do we maintain a balance with money? We have some examples of people doing things that would have been a luxury. For example, before Jesus' death, a woman anointed him with oil. At first, one of the apostles told Jesus that the oil was worth money and they could have sold it for a hefty sum and donated it to the poor. Jesus, however, said that it was fine, that he was going to die and they would still have the poor. So right there, we see Jesus himself accepted a luxury, even though he was going to be resurrected. We are told by Solomon that we ought to enjoy the fruits of our labor. There is nothing wrong with having a few luxury things, but few is the key word. Many people are in debt right now because they always have to have the newest cars, the newest computers, the newest cell phone, the newest clothes, newest whatever. This is called keeping up with the Joneses. They are trying to maintain a classy image. This really isn't justified. We should be careful with our resources. This attitude is really self-centered and greedy. They spend all of their money and even charge up credit cards to bathe themselves in luxury. God doesn't really expect us to sell everything we have and live in dirt houses. If we all did that, we wouldn't have an economy. We're allowed to use some of our income to not only pay our living expenses, but to spend on luxury items as well. But there must be a balance. Just like there's nothing wrong with having sex as long as we direct it toward our spouses only, and exercise this discipline, or there's nothing wrong with eating a great meal, but we are not to be gluttons. Or there's nothing wrong with loving things in life, but we shouldn't love them above God. Again, greed falls into the same balance. We can have money, we can even buy ourselves some luxuries on occasion, but we also are to be balanced in this. We must not neglect paying taxes and giving back to God. I think the most ridiculous thing is for someone who owns a big yacht or their own private jet or whatever, it's just silly. They could have used those hundreds of millions to help the poor and instead just rented a plane or a boat. Instead, I feel that greed has come into play with them. There's nothing wrong with money, but we must grow it, manage it wisely, and give back. We must pay our taxes, give back to God, and be good stewards of our wealth. To those much is given, much is expected. With great power comes great responsibility. Have you made Jesus your master? Is the God of the Bible the God of your life? Do you trust in riches to save you, or do you trust in the risen Christ? Oops, I went too far back. Alrighty, I'm back. Anybody still here? I was about to read, but I'm glad I read it. Ain't nothing wrong with learning something new. It ain't nothing. Now, wait a minute. Y'all been talking a lot. Yeah, BDS, the Brother Derrick Show, Brother Derrick Special, Brother Derrick Shine. We also gonna have Brother Derrick Skate and Brother Derrick Scenario. But you see BDS, everything is basically Brother Derrick Show. We got 23 channels named Brother Derrick Show. So I'm trying to give them all their own names so I can tell them apart. As you can see, we show stuff. which means we get flagged sometimes by YouTube, and they'll take a channel. So that's why we have so many ready. Well, I got another sector, actually two guys in another sector. They told me to rebrand. I didn't really want to fully rebrand because I don't know what Sammy R is. She make our banners, so I didn't want to rebrand because we don't have no banners for them. So I'm sticking with BDS, but instead of saying show, it'll be something else. Brother Derrick Shine, Brother Derrick Special, Brother Derrick Style. But we still sticking with the BDS. So the BDS is still legit. Now I could have stopped with the first part, but you know me, that's why I put up the banners for y'all to look at. I mean the picture for y'all to look at while I went looking. Because I could have just stopped with the scripture. But we actually went and found somebody reputable who could break it down. And like I said, both things said what I said, but also, if you do not let the money control you, if you don't let the money control you and you keep Jesus and God first, and you actually do for the poor and others, then yes. For some people, that's very difficult. Because some people just, they just got to. Some people just got to. They just got to do it, you know. Some people can't help themselves, you know, and they get that money and they get crazy and forget about everybody. Forget about everybody. I got to have the best things here. I got to have my Gucci. I got to have this. I got to be on Rodeo Drive. I got to get me an airplane. I got to get my own boat. I got to get the big mansion. I got to get me a home for the summer. I need a home for the winter. I need a home for the spring. I need all these things. All these clothes I never get to wear. All these shoes I never get to wear. And they start making the money their life. These are the people that I think that Jesus is referring to. The young man, as I've said several times, his whole persona, his whole being, his whole essence, his ego, his sense of self is built around being wealthy. Like a 55-year-old man walking up to a 20-year-old beautiful woman. He ain't got no money. He ain't gonna walk up there all with no swagger. But he got money, jewelry on, nice suit, loafers on, got a limousine parked out front with a guy standing there holding the door. He gonna walk up to her with some swag and be like, "You don't come roll with me, honey." I'm like, "You old enough to be my grandfather." But she gonna see that. She gonna say, "Let's go." This man got money. He older than dirt. I don't want this old man. He got money. We gonna have to get a pool boy. And while he at work, I'll let the pool boy come over. Whoa. Gonna make it work. But let that man come up there broke. On a bicycle. and say, you want to ride on my handlebars? 55-year-old to a 20-year-old. What is that 20-year-old going to say? Get out my face. You must have lost your mind, Pops. Nobody want your old butt. You old enough to be my granddad. Talking about come with you. Yeah. But you take him and you dress him up. He's acceptable. Take him and dress him up. He's acceptable. Because the young girl is thinking about the money and she letting the money. Even though she know in the back of her mind she ain't got no business messing around with this old man. She ain't got no business messing around with this old man, and she knows it. She knows she ain't got no business messing with this old man. And you know what? The majority of them relationships don't work out. Because the man get tired of her, and even though he giving her stuff, she get tired of him, and she want her a young buck. When we start to put money first, image first, it makes it very hard. It makes it very hard, especially if we are stingy. Rich people have more to lose. They have more to give. They tend to be more stingy. Trying to get more and more wealth so they can be bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger image. They tend to forget about God. Wait a minute. Bear leaving? All right, Wood Bear said he had to go to sleep. How long ago was that? Oh, that was a while ago. If you watch this back, Wood Bear, I'm sorry. Have a good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. You gave us something to come by and talk about. This probably says, I never deny anyone a favor or a plate of food, sometimes money if I have it. It probably says, but I don't give money for bad habits like drinking or smoking. Naya says, I just realized you switched names. Are you serious? You need to realize right now we have 5 accounts that are active. You said laugh out loud. BDS, that's not a guy, it's Mandy. What, Mandy Woods? I didn't know that. You know, I haven't been following the sector. I've been in the other sector. I'm glad she stopped by. I ain't seen her in a minute. It's nice to see the old crew come by and get together. But I'm glad she did. Because not only did I learn something, but also I was validated in a lot of what I said. That's always a plus plus. But I know because the stuff don't come from me. It comes through me, through the Holy Spirit. And I'm amazed at how right on the money I am. Because it ain't me. I'm just amazed at how I'm right on the money. And we still learned something. So even though, and that was a good thing that we learned. That there was a doorway into a city. And it was narrow and it was very difficult to get that camel through that doorway. And it was a famous doorway. But like I said, it is difficult because, like I said, the reason I do believe that most people that God picked for seers are not people that are wealthy. They're not people that are well-to-do. They're not people that are friendly with everybody. It's got to be somebody that he can set aside so that they don't get corrupted by the things of this world. And one day we're going to go back because Jesus once again says something that kind of challenges what we learned today. And we're going to go and check that out. Because he said, when they tried to trick him, and they showed a coin, and it had the ruler's picture on it. And they tried to trick him into saying that money was important or money wasn't important. Instead, he said to them, who picture is on a coin? They said Caesar's. He said, give Caesar's what is Caesar's. Give Caesar his money. Give God what is God's. So you owe Caesar taxes, go pay him. You owe rent for your house, go pay it. You owe your workers money for working your fields, go pay them. When you stop by that church or that temple, make sure you put your tithes in there. Pay it. And if you see somebody needing help or go help the poor, you got something left over, give it to them. Some people can say, "Oh, Poppy said good night. She about to roll out." All right, Miss Poppy, thanks for coming by. We got a couple more stories, and then I'll let y'all get out of here. All right, I talked about this in Nike Girls chat earlier. All right, here we go.
Now to that massive merger that could affect your cell phone plan. T-Mobile and Sprint finally striking a deal after years of negotiations. The move would leave consumers with just 3 major cell phone providers, and you know our chief business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is all over this. And Rebecca, the companies say they will actually lower prices?
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise, Robin. I spoke to the CEOs of both T-Mobile and Sprint overnight, and they tell me this will mean lower prices and broader options. Unlike most mergers, they say that they're going to take the savings of the combined companies and give them back to consumers, and from day one, lower prices. They also say that they'll build out 5G nationwide over the next year, and that will add thousands of jobs. Plus, they plan to introduce a broadband competitor in rural communities, which currently have just one option. Now, this merger, as you mentioned, Robin, that's going to consolidate the playing field of major carriers from 4 to 3, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And fewer options typically means higher prices, but they're making the argument here that T-Mobile and Sprint have been the lowest priced options for years. They've really pushed the rest of the industry to offer consumers more options, and they say they'll continue to do so. Of course, they're going to need that regulatory approval to get the deal done, Robin.
Now, could we get that in writing?
Yes, exactly. But you did hear it here on GMA. And if they go against their word on GMA, that's a problem.
You got it, Rebecca. Thank you.
All righty.
I'm a dancer, casting.
T-Mobile and Sprint talking about coming together. Why do these companies always want to come together? Hold on a sec. Why do these companies always want to merge? It's not fair. To us regular consumers, that's not fair. Sprint and T-Mobile have been us people that's on fixed income, that's on disability, that's barely making it, they have been a blessing. AT&T and Verizon are high as a bee. ITCH. They high as a buck. They high. You know it and I know it. The same plan that you can get, maybe I can tell you, you can get a plan for $15. That's put on T-Mobile. You might can only talk on the phone. That same plan is $40. AT&T and Verizon, I believe. That's how I look. I ain't looking a while. That's how I look. Same plan was $40. Just to talk on it. No internet, no anything else. Just talk on it. $40 a month. Now, I pay $60 with Metro PCS, which is merged with T-Mobile. It's a T-Mobile company. Some people are with Cricket. Cricket is really low rates. They with Sprint, I believe. You got Simple Mobile, which is a T-Mobile company. You have a lot. You got Straight Talk is another company that's off the big four. You got a lot of little small companies that's off the big ones. My concern is that T-Mobile phones, now Metro PCS started making you have to call in if you wanted to change SIM cards. You had to call the number in, and then they would do it. But normally, if you got a T-Mobile phone, you just put the SIM card in there and go. And you can have 4 or 5 T-Mobile phones, take the SIM card out, put in another phone. When you go overseas, they ain't got a T-Mobile overseas. You can go into any phone store, buy a SIM card, put it in your phone temporarily, just pay for it, get 30 minutes or whatever. You can make phone calls and get data if you need it while you overseas, which is very convenient. Verizon and Sprint didn't do that. Now, Verizon, to get the deal, to get the LTE that they wanted, they had to give something to T-Mobile, which makes my Verizon phone work with T-Mobile because they had to get them a band, right? So they got a Verizon band. That makes the phone work. Number 2, they had to make it a global phone because there is no Verizon when you leave the U.S. At the time this was done. I don't know what they got any now, but once you leave with a Verizon U.S. phone, you can't do nothing with it till you come back. You can't do nothing with it till you come back. So the FCC made them start making their phones global, which means you can put an AT&T chip in there. You can put a T-Mobile chip in there, a Simple Mobile chip, a Straight Talk chip. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But Cricket didn't use a SIM card. They do now. But Cricket was just like Sprint and Verizon. They didn't use the SIM card. Now they do. Some of their phones come with them, some don't. If you got an older Cricket phone, they don't have a slot for a SIM card. So, if T-Mobile takes the security measure that Sprint does, say somebody had just got a new phone, they can't give you that phone. They can't say, well, I got me a new phone, here, take this one. You can't do nothing with it. You have to go down to the store with the owner and get them to transfer that phone over to you. You try and go by yourself, they might try and lock you up. Sprint don't play. Sprint does not play. You cannot take a phone, go down to the store, and try to get on it. They're going to say somebody else had this phone. When you buy a phone off of eBay, you got to make sure the person didn't lie and say the phone got stolen and get the phone on the insurance and then sell you the phone for $400 or $500, and you go to activate it and then you find out that that phone is locked because the person reported is stolen, that IME number is dead, blacklisted. You can't do nothing with it. I actually bought a watch, a phone watch, and it was blacklisted. And I actually had to get a new service with that company just to get them to unlock that watch when I already had service for it already. I already had service for it. And they still gave me a hard time. I had to show them the actual ad. Look, this is where I bought it. They say that it is free. It's not locked. You saying it's locked. I actually, one of my ex-girlfriends, she loves Sprint. She been there and she won't leave it. I can't get her to leave the company. I bought her phone for her birthday, and I made sure it had a clear IMEI number. That's what I said, right? I made sure it was clear. I took it to the Sprint store, Pulaski Highway, and the woman came back and said the phone blacklisted. I said, ma'am, I got the IMEI number right here, and I checked it on y'all list. The phone is clear. We were there for about an hour, but that family transferred the service to our new phone. She was happy. I wasn't happy sitting there for an hour when I already did the research, but this is what I'm saying. This could be coming. If they merge and T-Mobile takes that approach, it's going to take the one thing that made T-Mobile special is going to lose it. And the last thing we need, we already got Verizon and Sprint with that crap, and then Cricket, and then whatever branches of Verizon there are. Now you're going to have a third version. So AT&T is going to be probably going to be the only company left with a SIM card. Everybody else, you're going to have to take it in, and they're going to have to program the phone. You can't just say you got two phones and one phone good for this, one phone good for that. You can't switch them out. It's just that phone. You got to call and ask them to switch it, or you got to go to the store and have them do it. And they're going to charge you money. So that's what bothers me about it. Anybody else have any comments? Anybody have any comments on the possible Sprint T-Mobile merger? Have a good night, Miss Poppy. I appreciate you coming by. That's embarrassing, though. I didn't know that Mandy was Mandy Wood. That was embarrassing. Woods Bear. That was embarrassing. I don't know. All right. Let's get to the next story. All right, here we go. Now, somebody gave me an update. I'd love to have that phone.
Parents should never came on campus with a gun at all.
You want the best for your child, and to hear something like that, you know, we're gonna get panicked. Yeah. Because every mother wants their child to be in a perfect environment.
Christopher arrested for entering Bear Lakes Middle School with a loaded AK-47 with an extended magazine in his front pocket. Freeman's parents pleading with the judge to place him on house arrest.
Our grandson being thrown around. On the videotape, he was calling me. He said, "Dad, this grown man."
Okay, don't talk about the facts of the case.
According to court papers, Monday afternoon, Freeman received a FaceTime phone call from his son. Freeman said his son was being slammed by a teacher. Investigators say Freeman then went to school and made a threat inside the front office. The district says school police immediately confiscated the gun, and Freeman never made a threat to school staff. The judge says having a weapon on school grounds is a serious charge.
No contact with any Palm Beach County school. You'll have to stay 500 feet away from all schools on school property in Palm Beach County. and no weapons. You may not possess any firearms or any other type of weapon.
Nadia said she hadn't heard anything about it. He says she has Sprint. What do you think about this? This man got a FaceTime phone call. So I guess that means the same way y'all see me when the father saw him, he can see the boy's face. The child said the teacher was slamming him around. He called crying upset. The father get an AK-47 and go up to the school. He got an AK-47. What was you going to do in a school full of children with an AK-47? An AK-47. Was you going to shoot the school up? And now he in court asking for mercy. What the heck you want mercy for? You was an idiot. You took a military-style weapon. A military-style weapon. And they said he had a clip in his front pocket. Don't clips like hold 100 rounds? You went up to a school because your son said that he got slammed? You had to take a daggone AK. You couldn't take a 9mm. You couldn't take a knife. You couldn't take a stun gun. You couldn't take a baton. Brass knuckles. The weapons that I showed y'all, he had to take an AK-47 like he was Rambo and he going into the jungles of Afghanistan to go get Osama bin Laden. You going to a school and then you going to sit there and say, oh, I wasn't going to harm anybody. But what the heck you take that weapon for? One teacher, according to your son, slammed him down. One teacher. You needed all that ammunition for one teacher? Wait a minute. Did I delete the story? Did I delete the story? No, I didn't delete it. Hold on, let me find out. Florida. Florida school.
Seriously, what is this?
Florida school. This man gotta have some screws loose. Why would you take an AK-47? You got a problem with one person. You need that much firepower for one person. First of all, you haven't heard from the adult yet. You haven't heard from other witnesses. You only know what your child told you. Children get emotional. They get worked up. You, as the adult, especially as the father, you're supposed to have the common sense. You don't send the mother up there. She might go up there and beat up everybody in the school. You're supposed to go up there with common sense and say, look, what happened? Why is my son crying? Who slammed him? Then, if you feel like you want to go beat the teacher up before the police get there, or the security, or the school security, or whatever, that's your option. We won't fault you for that. If you put his hands on your son, the law says you ain't supposed to do nothing, but, we'll turn our head. But you go up there with an AK-47 for one person. Nah, bro. Something wrong with you. You can't be that mad that you're going to go up there and shoot everybody. You're going to shoot everybody because he didn't hit. It wasn't done to the other kids in the class, so you're going to kill them. The other teachers didn't get involved, so you're going to kill them. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, what would you need an AK-47 for? And I can tell you right now, if I got an AK-47 and I'm going to do some damage, I don't care if they discover it or not. if I can't even shoot somebody, I'm going to shoot them. But now you look stupid because you didn't shoot nobody and you're going to jail. You didn't shoot nobody and you're going to jail. You can't go to any schools in that city. So if you got other children, nieces and nephews, they got school plays, graduation, you can't go. You lost everything. That teacher, that whatever he did to your son is forgot. You showed up with an AK-47. Don't nobody even care about your son being slain. They more worried about the fact that his father was coming to shoot the school up. You touch my son. I'm killing all of you. That man got issues. And he need to do time and get some psychiatric counseling. Because there's no excuse for that. Some of y'all are parents. Would y'all do that? Your son call you and say a teacher slammed him or her. Would you go up to the school with an AK-47? You get that mad. You not only want to beat the teacher up, you want to shoot the school up. Because why else would you bring an AK-47? We got too many guns in this country and they too accessible. I'd have had more respect if he'd have went up there and found a teacher. Well, what was going on? And then beat the teacher up. He was defending his son. He handled it with his hands. You go up there and shoot the whole school up? Man, that's crazy. That's just crazy. AK-47. As usual, we can't go a week. We can't go a week, can we? We can't go a week. Another Catholic priest. Can't go a week.
I've talked on this phone through the happiest times of my life and through the saddest times of my life. But I never dreamed in 1,000 years that it would save my life.
Ooh.
Pope Francis has accepted Washington Cardinal Donald Wuerl's resignation amid that sexual abuse scandal plaguing the Catholic Church. A grand jury report in August accused Wuerl of helping protect priests who had molested children. The Vatican has not named a replacement yet for Cardinal Wuerl. His office says that he's been asked to stay on temporarily until a new archbishop has been found.
Daggone shame.
Brushing only reaches 25% of your mouth.
Daggone shame. 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 Can't we go 1 week without doing something on a daggone Catholic priest? I say it for the 50th time. Why can't the nuns marry the priest? Why can't the nuns marry the priest? I'm serious. Why can't the nuns marry the priest? God don't need no woman to do nothing for God. God does not need thousands upon thousands of wives. The priests need to marry. The original priests that God put together were able to marry. Why can't Catholic priests marry? Get rid of that monk crap. Because all monks do is make pedophile and punks. What you need to do let the nuns marry the priest. Then you're going to find out who the pedophiles are. They'll be weeded out so easily. Because most men, if they got a woman to come home to, they not going to mess with a daggone child. So then it'd be real easy to find out who's hanging around, who got the children back behind the booth, who doing all this other stuff. It's going to make it easier to weed out who the pedophiles are. Why is that so hard? Why can't they kill that tradition? Yeah, but it's kind of a mix, because if you got all these priests walking around all hard up all the time, they might not come forward. Because they're probably thinking at least they was able to get off on something. They might be envious. They might be envious of those who do have the gall and gumption to go do that. They might look up to them. Remember what I said about the good? The people in the middle that's good, but look up to those that do what they can't do. If everybody has a woman, they're not going to be able to hide. They won't be able to hide as much. And they can really start weeding them out. And people will come forward. This is happening too much. And anybody that would allow their son to be an altar boy should be slapped. This is happening too much. Remember what I said about what's done in the dark come to the light? What's done in the dark comes to the light. And you seeing all these cases coming up. All that stuff they did in the bowels of the church. It's rising up slowly. And everywhere you look, all around the world, not just, it ain't just happening in the United States, it ain't just happening in Africa, it's all over the world. And the Catholic Church going to wind up going broke paying out all these lawsuits. They're going to literally start going broke paying out all these lawsuits. It's crazy. You know, it's a great thing. If you make yourself celibate for the Lord, it's a great thing. But if you have had sexual contact and then took an oath, you got something to remember back on. You ain't ever had it. At some point, you willing to risk getting caught just to have that thrill. Because the majority, I guarantee you, the majority of the priests that's doing this is just doing it for the sexual contact. There are pedophiles mixed in there, but the majority of them just want sexual contact. And you look at the coaches, the Boy Scouts, it makes you afraid to send children anywhere. Look what happened at Penn State with the football team. Man was raping them young boys for years. For years. And some people knew about it and didn't say nothing because they had a good team and they didn't want no scandal. They had a good team. Team was bringing in money for the school. Nobody wanted to rock the boat. It's going to be years before that team is competitive again. It's going to be years before that team is competitive again. All because some people couldn't keep their hands off children. And some nuns are being raped too. That's why they should go ahead and let them marry. That was our last story. Let's see if anything happened in Baltimore. I see something about California Governor Gavin Newsom announces moratorium on death penalty, calls decision personal. A moratorium. Does that mean they stop it? Or they start it? California Governor Gavin Newsom announced a moratorium on the death penalty Wednesday, halting more than 700 executions in the state and drawing criticism from President Donald Trump. The executive order grants a reprieve to 730 inmates on the country's largest death row and halts the use of the death penalty in the state, according to the governor's office. During an exclusive sit-down interview with ABC affiliate station KGO, Newsom called the decision personal and moral for him, while also pointing to what he sees as systematic racial and economic inequalities in the criminal justice system. I cannot in good conscience sign death warrant for someone, Newsom told ABC's Erie Thompson from the governor's mansion. This is coming on me. I just can't do it. Newsom has long been an opponent of the death penalty, but said in an interview that the question was largely academic until he was elected governor. Now he will be asked to approve a death penalty protocol in the state, and he says it's raw and emotional. This is not a quick response, he went on explaining his decision. This is not a political response. This is deeply held belief. I had to live with myself, he continued, but acknowledged that he thought good people would completely disagree with him on this issue. Citing justice figures in the state and around the country, Newsom thought that poor Americans and racial minorities are too often treated differently under the law. The American justice system is completely broken, and we all are perpetrating it. The systemic racism, the implement bias, the overt bias, the whims of prosecutors based on geography, based on the will of people in the moment, fear and anxiety. Until we address that, I don't think we can do what Saudi Arabia is doing and what North Korea is doing, he added. Early Wednesday morning, Trump tweeted his dismay at the governor's move, expressing solidarity with the family and friends of victims. The decision is especially controversial considering that California voters rejected a ballot measure that would have repealed the death penalty in 2016, but Newsom said he was elected for his judgment. Newsom, who signaled that he wanted to move on the issue when he first took office, cited high costs, racial inequities, and lack of deterrent as key reasons behind the decision. The death penalty is absolute, irreversible, and irreparable in the event of human error, he added, noting that the state has spent $5 billion since 1978 to keep inmates on death row across the country. More than 100 citizens on death row have been found innocent. I do not believe a civilized society can claim to be a leader in the world as long as its government continues to sanction the premeditated and discriminatory execution of its people. If you rape, we don't rape you back, he went on during the interview. He called the entire American justice system broken. In short, the death penalty is inconsistent with our bedrock values and strikes at the very heart of what it means to be a Californian. Hold on a sec. We got to stop here. I don't even go no further. This is why you got to watch who you elect. You got to watch who you elect. The death penalty does not work like it should because it's not enforced quickly. the death penalty is not enforced quickly. If it was enforced quickly, it would cut down on the number of homicides. You kill somebody, you don't have a good reason, you're dead. That's going to stop it. I beat you to an inch of your life, but I can't kill you. Because if I kill you, they're going to kill me on death row. I raped you. I should kill you, so you can't testify against me. But I'll take the rape charge. Because if I kill you and they find your body, I'm going to be killed within a year. That's how you stop that. You got to make them people afraid, the criminals. You watch the gangbang and stop carrying around guns. And start carrying around brass knuckles. You watch. You watch them stop carrying around the Trinitario with the machetes. Watch them stop carrying and start carrying the handle. If you allow somebody one appeal, they lose that appeal and you give it to them within a year. You get rid of them. Then you ain't spending 25 years feeding and housing them. But here's the thing that doesn't make sense what the man said. He talking about the cost of it. How much does it cost us to keep them? Suppose somebody gets sentenced to the death penalty at 20 years old. We can't kill him. If he lives to be 80, we got to pay 60 years of his medical. We got to clothe him. We got to feed him. We got to house him for 60 years. Give him his appeal. He lose it. Put him to death within that year. That 700 and something executions that he got, the people wouldn't be there. They'd be gone. And the example would be set. We don't need 25 years. He's saying around the country, 100 people were put to death by accident. It's millions of people in this country. Millions. In my city alone, there's an average of 300 and something murders every year. That's going to happen. You're talking about 100 out of probably over the years, maybe over the past 50 years. You talking about 100 out of 10,000 executions? I can live with them odds. We make a mistake once every 15, 20 years to clean these streets up. It's worth it. Because if you do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to wind up sitting on death row. Most people who are framed by accident were doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and that's how they was allowed to be caught up in that. If they was home with their families or at work or doing what they're supposed to be doing, they wouldn't have been in that situation. Because the majority of the people who were wrong, very few are actually innocent men. Very few are innocent men. Very few. Everybody keep talking about the man that got killed in Baltimore by the police, Freddie Graves. That man had a damn rap sheet a mile long. Everybody wanted to get so worked up about the man was a criminal. We ain't got no death penalty. They know they can do whatever they want to do, and they're going to get housed for the rest of their life. Make it a year. If we get you by accident, hey, nothing, we human. We ain't God and Jesus. Ain't nothing perfect. Somebody gonna slip by. Accidents happen. That's why we got, if something don't work and get delivered to you, You get it, take it back, right, and get another one. Sometimes, hey, you fall through the cracks. We got to live with it. That's something you got to live with. When they built the San Francisco Bay Bridge, how many men you think died? When they were building the railroads, how many men you think died? More than 100? But we needed to be built. We need something that's going to let these criminals know. If you do this, and we ain't going to let you lay around for 25 years. Take that money and get these defendants better attorneys. Stop your rush to judgments with the police. Actually investigate these crimes so we can have solid cases. And then there'll be less chance for an accident. How about that? Why not spend that money on that and get these people out of here? You're going to let 737 people that should be executed, you're going to let them off the hook. So if they ever escape, what's to stop them from doing it again? Going out there, they can kill as many people as they want. You can't kill them back. They can go kill as many people as they want. You can't kill them back. They know you can't kill them. You can't put them on death row. You ain't got it. You ain't got death row. So now, all the gangbangers, they can do whatever they want to do. If you live in California, get out. If you live in California right now, go get the head of that governor and cut it off or move. Go get the head and cut it off. Just kill him. Since he don't want to kill the people that's killing your families, go kill him. Let them see what it feel like. Let his family see what it feel like. When guess what? If they catch you, guess what? They can't kill you back. Let his family see what it's like. Let somebody go rape or molest his daughter and leave her laying in the middle of the road. Huh? Then you see what it feel like. You got families that have been waiting 20 years to see these people executed, and you're going to put them back in the gym pot. I couldn't blame none of them parents if they went on the rampage and burnt down the daggone governor house. I couldn't blame them. I shake my head. Damn. Anybody got any comments? As crazy as California is, with all them gang members, you got all these crazy Mexicans and the cartels just killing people for nothing. And you telling me there's no death penalty? I guarantee you this. Go piss off one of them cartel members. I guarantee you they kill you and your family. And they ain't going to have no daggone trial neither. They're going to straight kill you. And there ain't nothing to stop them from doing it. We get to stay in one of your nice jails the rest of our life with heat and TV. And we got books to read. And we got a nice bed to lay in of our own. What's bad about that? But I guarantee you, we step back into Mexico, probably get shot on sight. They'll probably take us in and put us in a cauldron, put gasoline in it, and set us on fire while we're alive. All y'all gonna do is feed us till we die. Hey, let's go. We ain't got nothing to lose. What the heck? You putting 770-something people that have been on death row. Some of them probably been there for 25 years. And you gonna put them back in gym pop. And they should go back and they should kill 50 prisoners. They should kill 50 prisoners. And why not? You can't execute them. Matter of fact, every jail in California should riot. They should riot rape all the female correctional officers, beat the guards that been keeping them down for years, beat them into submission. You can't kill them. You can't kill them. What to stop them? You can't kill them. All you can do is lock them up. Still got to feed them. Still got to clothe them. You can't kill them. What they got to be scared of? What do they have to be scared of? I'm asking y'all, what do they have to be scared of? You can't do nothing to them. Nothing. Anybody in California, y'all should be nervous right now. Somebody put a gun in your face and say, you better give them all your money. Give them your money, give them your ring, give them whatever. And get on your knees and say, please don't kill me. Because they can. And if they get caught, guess what? They got 3 hots in a cat for the rest of their life. 3 hots in a cat. A lot of these people that's on death row is crazy. You gonna put them back in gym pot? Stuff gonna hit the fan. I'll give it a few months. Watch and see the killings don't increase in California. Not to mention the killings inside the prison are going to increase. And why not? I'm loyal to my gang. Love for me, y'all. MS-13. I'll kill you, man. What they going to do? Lock me up. I'm already locked up. What they going to do? I'm going to kill you for my gang. I'm with the Serenos. We're going to hack up everybody. What you going to do? That guard ain't going to do nothing. I hacked the guard up too. What they going to do? Hack, hack, hack. What you going to do? Lock me up. You can't kill me. You might can beat me, but you can't kill me. You might can beat me up, throw me in a hole, but you can't kill me. Eventually, you're going to let me out. Eventually, you're going to let me out. You can beat me. Well, guess what? You can't put me to death. And I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of family members are going to start hiring prisoners to do what the state promised to do. And once again, what can you do about it? You can't kill them. You can't kill them. People are going to start picking off them. If they go to their court hearings, family members are going to start picking them off. Innocent cops might get shot escorting them. Guess what? It's the governor's fault. I can't get mad at the family. You promised them that these guys will be killed. And then you're going to set them free? I can't blame them. I cannot blame them. Anybody have any comments? All right, let's go to New York. We ain't been in New York in a while. Oops. Uh-oh, not found. Volume on? Yeah. All right, y'all. We in Brownsville, Bronxville, whatever they call it. Wait, with commercial to end.
Following breaking news in Westchester County all night, where police swarmed New York Presbyterian Lawrence Hospital in Bronxville. Just minutes ago, we got an update from police who say they responded to an unfounded report of an active shooter. Let's get more details from Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim. He is live at the scene. Stefan, what is...
First responders and police now packing up. The chief says about 8:45, they got a call of a man with a shotgun on the 6th floor of this hospital. We have some video now to show you of the massive police response that ensued from that call. The chief says at no time, though, were shots fired and there was no shooter. Concluded a secondary search is now underway. There are no victims. Now, here's the important thing. He says it was 2 patients on the 6th floor who reported to nurses that they thought they saw a shooter. The nursing station then, following protocol, locked down the hospital and called police.
There was not an armed person.
Now, those 2 patients are being questioned by police, but the chief says that they have no reason to believe that they had any malicious intent in reporting what they thought they saw. So this is turning out to be an unfounded report of a shooter in this hospital. But again, it was the surveillance video that really helped and aided in this investigation. Reporting live in Bronxville, Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So somebody was delusional, huh? Oops. Any more good news? We already covered those news stories. Let's go someplace different. I should have asked y'all to pick some place. Let's go to Atlanta. I thought for sure. We're gonna find something in New York. Oh man, Lord, I'm gonna be itching all night. I'm gonna be itching all night, y'all. What? I'm gonna be itching all night after watching this. Yeah. That's why I don't be playing in the woods. You're a child. Come on, man.
Your child's school is infested with lice, and the school isn't doing enough to stop the spread, they say. Channel 2 anchor Justin Wilpon, live in Coweta County. Justin, the school says this is not an infestation.
But Justin, 2 parents told me tonight they believe this school does have a bug problem, and they believe the proof is in this picture. These lice and eggs on this cone. It's a war on bugs for Maggie Kingston and Maddie Haynes.
Awful. It's like living in hell.
Now they wish their children's school would join the fight.
They need to think of the emotional strain that it can cause on you and your family members.
The parents told me Glanton Elementary School in Coweta County has done little to fight what they believe is a widespread lice problem.
They don't take it seriously because it doesn't pass diseases, it doesn't make them sick, so it's brushed under the rug.
Both women told me their children acquired lice repeatedly at the school over the past several months. Kingston even showed me this picture of what she says are lice and eggs on her daughter's cone. She's tried all the treatments.
Lice clinics, prescription, home remedies, everything.
But the women believe the school must do more as well. We reached out to Coweta County Schools. A spokesperson told me the district does not allow students to return to school until lice are no longer visible, and the classroom checks are conducted twice a year. The district does not believe the problem is widespread. The women disagree and say the proof is on their daughters' heads yet again.
It is. It's gross.
And those women would like to see more regular checks for lice at this school. They would also like to see the schools send home a letter to parents informing them of these lice cases. Reporting live in Coweta County tonight, Justin Wilfon, Channel 2 Action News. Night.
Oh, I'm trying not to throw up, y'all. I'm sorry. That give me the heebie-jeebies. That's gross. Lord, 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 Lord. All right, y'all. One more news story, huh? I can't imagine. Let me take the chat real quick. Anybody got any comments? How we got 5 people watching and nobody commenting? The chat did.
Involving police officers in less than 24 hours. One in Cherokee County, another happened in the city of Atlanta, and one in DeKalb County this afternoon. Channel 2's Matt Johnson is live on Memorial Drive in South DeKalb. And Matt, the one there started with a man not wearing his seatbelt.
Police say this car was parked in the middle of the shopping center in the middle of the day, but police say they were still forced to open fire. It's just the latest case in a violent 24 hours for law enforcement.
It is always a trying time because you never know.
A traffic stop over a seatbelt violation led to a police shooting in a DeKalb County shopping center. The DeKalb County police chief says the motorcycle cop stopped the driver in an SUV on Memorial Drive and saw he had warrants out for his arrest. When an officer saw a gun in the driver's waistband, police say the driver fired a shot and the officer returned fire. Now the driver is in critical condition.
Just something I think you would get a very minimal fine, if not most likely a warning just for that violation, and it escalated into a deadly situation.
The Wednesday afternoon shooting became the 3rd shooting involving a police officer in Metro Atlanta in just 24 hours. At around 12:30 Wednesday, an Atlanta police officer in an unmarked SWAT vehicle shot a man who police say pointed a gun at officers.
Obviously loading his handgun in the front of his car and certainly pointing it at the officers is the wrong thing to do.
Witnesses near Memorial and Moreland Avenue in southeast Atlanta say they heard multiple shots.
It's kind of crazy, the world we're living in right now, man.
And Tuesday night in Cherokee County, the GBI says a deputy shot and killed 45-year-old Robert Frady as he refused to drop a gun pointed at his estranged wife's head. For some who witnessed the shootings, they say how these end shouldn't surprise anyone.
People, don't care about the law, and, this is what happens.
And the GBI has not released names or condition updates for the people shot by police today, as checked with a spokesperson who said that information from investigators should be available tomorrow. Live in DeKalb County, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News Night Beat.
Matt, thank you. There are now 21 police shootings across Georgia just this year, including the 3 in the last 24 hours. We built an interactive map on our website, WSBTV.com. It shows you where all of the police shootings have happened. This is in the main story on our homepage.
Well, I think Georgia still got the death penalty. Alrighty, anybody got any comments? Ain't nobody said nothing since 3:35. Alrighty then. I'm gonna call it a night. If somebody y'all know was on, I'll be in the chat. Y'all can come over there and chat since y'all ain't want to really chat much here, but I appreciate y'all coming. We'll build it up slowly but surely as more people get to know where we are. Pass the word. We still the Brother Derrick show, but we the Brother Derrick special. Uh-oh, something went wrong. What the heck? Something went wrong. There we go. All right, like I said, that ain't changed. They really upset about us doing 2000 by 1124. because we in between 1920 by 1080 or 2560 by 1440. We in the middle, 2000 by 1124. So we are doing 2K, basement 2K, but we are doing 2K. Phone is struggling, so we might have to come down, but I'll see how it looks. Like I say, I'm scared to do testing because that's how I got my channel took, testing. So we got 5 people watching, but nobody chatting. Hello, anybody here? It said we up to 5 now. What's going on here? Oops. Let me see here. Let me do a refresh. We still got 5. I'll keep going. Oh, we dropped to 3. You say you showing 2. I'm showing 3. Let me log in. Because it's 4 in the morning. I'm getting a little hungry, but I'll keep going if we got people. I'm not going to abandon. Cell phone say 4. So we got 4 people here. Why is somebody not saying nothing? Where y'all at? Say something. Are y'all enjoying the show? Well, let's go back in. We was in Atlanta. Let's go to Las Vegas. We ain't been in Las Vegas in a while. Let's see what's going on in Las Vegas. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, it was an Amber Alert. We had one doing our Nike Girl show. Amber Alert. Police search for missing child. Mother killed. Father arrested. Oh, she's a cutie. The Milwaukee Police Department reported officers were able to arrest Darius Higgins on Wednesday afternoon. The Milwaukee Police Department took Darius Higgins into custody today, March 13th at about 12:53 p.m. in the 5200 block of North 103rd Street. Mr. Higgins is wanted for the homicide of Sierra Robinson. A nationwide search is underway for 2-year-old Noelani Robinson. Who named these kids, man? After police say her Las Vegas mother, Sierra Robinson, was shot and killed in Milwaukee on March 11th. Authorities said Robinson was in Milwaukee to pick up her daughter from the child's father, Darius Higgins, who was formerly Sierra's pimp. Higgins has been charged with homicide in connection to her death. Court records say Robinson was with a friend and Higgins in the car when they stopped at an apartment in Milwaukee to get her daughter. Higgins told Sierra that Nalani was inside, and then as Sierra and a friend walked in the door, Higgins shot them multiple times. Sierra was declared dead at the scene. The other woman was treated for multiple gunshot wounds at a nearby hospital. Police say Higgins drives a black or dark blue SUV. They asked that anyone who's seen him call 911 immediately. Authorities do not know where Higgins is heading, or even if he has Nolani with him. They are asking the public to share the Amber Alert on social media and be on the lookout for both of them. And then you got the follow-up. Hopefully it's a video. Uh-oh. Go refresh. 2, 1.
Chief Steve Caballero and I currently oversee the Criminal Investigations Bureau. Before I introduce the commander to our homicide division, he's going to give you some details. I want to really encourage everybody watching to harness the power of social media. So on Milwaukee's Police Department's Facebook page, we have the 2 photos that are behind us. And so I'm asking everybody to share those photos with everyone they know in an effort to gain some type of insight on where this suspect is. We need your help. We believe the suspect is armed and dangerous. So anything you can do to spread those photos could help break this case. So Captain Thomas Casper will give some details regarding the investigation up to this point.
Good evening. I'd like to first begin by thanking the FBI for all the support they have given the Milwaukee Police Department regarding this investigation. They are here with us today. I wanted to acknowledge them. I also want to thank John Chisholm and the representatives from the District Attorney's Office for working so closely with us. We should have a complaint within the next 60 minutes. Yesterday, at about 1 p.m., Milwaukee police squads were dispatched to a shooting in the 6300 block of North 91st Street. When they arrived, they found 2 adult females lying on a driveway to an 8-unit apartment building. The first female was 24 years of age, a resident of Nevada, and she was suffering from numerous gunshot wounds. Although medical attention arrived promptly, she was pronounced dead at the scene. The second female is a 28-year-old Milwaukee resident. She was shot multiple times. She was transported to a local hospital where she's currently being treated. While at the scene, a third person was located. A 35-year-old Milwaukee man suffered a graze wound to the left shoulder. He was also transported to a local hospital where he was treated and released. The shooter and suspect has been identified as Dariaz, D-A-R-I-A-Z-L Higgins, 28 years of age. He has previous arrests in Nevada, Minnesota, and Florida. The Cadillac, which was originally described in the Amber Alert, was located overnight in Miami, Florida. That was a vehicle that he had been arrested in Minnesota last month, and that vehicle has been accounted for. We are very concerned about the missing 2-year-old, Nolani Robinson. Her whereabouts have not been accounted for, and we want to ensure her safety. We are asking Mr. Higgins to take her and drop her off someplace safe, a family member's house, a fire station, a hospital, any place safe, so that law enforcement can take custody of her. As the chief stated, Mr. Higgins is believed to be armed and dangerous, and right now his whereabouts are unknown.
So with that, we can answer just a few general questions. Again, like Captain Casper had said, we expect a criminal complaint probably within the hour. If not, then tomorrow morning. Those will probably answer most of the questions that you have. Again, I want to reemphasize for everyone to go to Facebook, look at the photos, share them with your contacts. We're expecting that the suspect that we're looking for is going to go to a gas station, maybe a fast food joint to get some food, things like that. So the more people that have these photos, the better.
Can you talk about the timeline? How long between them?
Do you have an updated vehicle description we could share?
We don't. That's obviously one thing that we're investigating, but at this moment we don't.
What state, if any, do you have any idea or have received any tips that he is in the state of Wisconsin still, or if he will be out of the state?
That's a good question, and really that's the reason why we're emphasizing for everyone to get the photos, see them on Facebook, and forward them to all the contacts, because at this point we don't know.
Can you talk to us about the timeline? She was shot at, or the mother of the child was shot at about 1 in the afternoon.
I don't know specifically in this case, but I know there's specific things that have to meet the Amber Alert qualifications. I believe the vehicle may be one of them. So again, it's going through the investigation, understanding what's happening in the investigation, and then understanding that now we're trying to account for a 2-year-old, and when we weren't able to do that, again, we started with the Amber Alert. So in a case like this, it is a matter of urgency for everyone in the police department to put out the Amber Alert as soon as we meet those qualifications, and then continue with the investigation.
Can you confirm the relationship between the suspect and the missing child and the missing child and the victim here?
It's my understanding that they had a relationship. They weren't husband, wife, but I believe they were boyfriend, girlfriend.
And the victim, she's the missing girl's mother, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's his daughter.
So, yes. So again, I want to reemphasize to
hold on, y'all. Something going on.
watching,
Hold on.
Go on up and watch.
That lady going crazy again. It's a crazy lady living in this building. Can y'all hear her? I don't know what's going on outside, y'all. I know it's a lady. She used to live here. Used to be over top of me. If y'all was with me last year, y'all remember I used to hear that hollering and stomping and screaming and all that. Now she's in an apartment going toward the front of the building. But her bathroom is on the other side of my bathroom. I found that funny that the bathroom downstairs was bigger than the one upstairs, but I see because I share it. That's probably why. Because the wall, somebody just made them both shorter. Now I got more cabinets and stuff in there. It's not as long. You know, it's not as lengthy as the other one was, but it's still good. But I see why, because they cut it almost in half. And her apartment, it must end right there, and then my bathroom starts. So, but I get to hear that noise. Anyway, what's going on with everybody? Why the chat so quiet? The man used to pimp the woman out. This is something that I could never understand. And this is something that I need other men. There any men in the chat to help me out with this? How can you sleep with somebody you pimping out? I'm asking the question. How can you sleep with somebody you're pimping out? How can you sleep in a natural, raw dog, however you want to say it? How can you do that? Oh crap, Miss Poppy was here. I should have gave her a wrench. I wasn't even thinking. She'll see it when she come back. I just I wish somebody would have reminded me. And who else came that didn't get? Yeah, Mandy got one already. That's why I didn't notice. Yeah, Mandy still had her wrench from the channel before. That's probably how she got the notification. But okay, I got it. So she was the only one. So all right, they both got their wrenches. Like I was saying, how How can you? I just don't get it. You know, people watch Hustle and Flow. I didn't get it. And then when you knock up your worker, how you get money? Because how could you let her lay down with other men when she carrying her child? I just don't understand. So why would he take the child? He ain't that concerned for the child because look who he let be the mother of the child. And y'all might say, you know, I'm being too, you know, finicky, you know, high mighty. No, I'm just saying, your body is your temple. You only get one body. Why would you keep risking it? If she out there making money for you, sleeping with any Tom, Dick, or Harry, the last thing you should do is sleep with her. I'm saying that should be the last thing you do. Because I've seen the young boys talk. And if you give them an extra $20, $30, they'll let you go rob in them. You don't know what them boys got. But you gonna let her go out there and sleep with other men, sleep with truckers, and if they willing to cheat on their wives, like, why do you trust them? Can somebody help me out with that? I don't get it. See, the Brother Derrick Show, we touch the real issues, and then we go under. We don't sugarcoat it. I need to know. How could you sit there and pimp somebody out? It'd be like if a woman had a husband that was a Chippendale dancer, and you know that he was sleeping with some of them women at the club, and they was giving him money, and he coming home bringing you money and bringing you gifts, and he could be bringing you some diseases you can't get rid of. How could you do it? That's what I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. How could you let your body be on the line like that? If y'all remember Eddie Murphy, I think it was Raw, or was it Delirious, when he said he put his penis on a crack table a lot and he rolled the dice. When you in that kind of situation, I mean, if you married, period, if you in a relationship, period, every time your spouse walk out the door, you hope and pray that they don't come back and bring you something. But this man was pimping out a woman. Having guys pay to have sex with her. Sometimes these guys ain't washed, they weren't clean. For you to sit there and have a child with that woman, that's just nasty. And why would you kill her and take the child when you don't care about the child? Because you wouldn't have had a child with that woman. I'm just asking. Could you really be that sorry of a man? That's like a man that lived with a woman, but once a week, he got to leave the house and hide his belongings because her ex come by once a week. And the ex got a wife, but he paying the bills. And so he got to leave out and find some place to go that night because once a week the ex come over. And you literally could sit there and burn that ex's electricity up. You could eat that ex's food. You could watch that TV the ex paid for. You can lay in that bed that the ex paid for. One day, the ex is going to come by, surprise. And he's going to find you there. And what can you say other than, oh, excuse me, bro, I didn't know it was your day, and leave? What else could you do? that reminds me of, remember we were talking about the basketball wives, and I was telling y'all about the young plump one I thought was sexy. I forgot her name. I ain't got cable anymore. But I forgot her husband's name. But she has a friend. When that friend come, when the husband come by to see the kids, that friend got to go. And do they fool around? I don't know. The cameras won't show us. But do that basketball player still come get some nookie? He come by see the kids. Do he still get nookie from the wife? While the guy is sleeping in his car or at the hotel? Because chances are he's driving around in the car that the basketball player paid for. He's going to check into a motel room that the basketball player paid for. He basically is keeping the woman company and standing guard over the kids while the basketball player is out doing whatever he doing because he didn't want to be married to the woman anymore. You don't think that they still don't get a little rock on? Because what respect is there for you? Somebody else is footing the bill. You just a stand-in. If you're a man and you living off one or two women and you got them out there prostituting themselves to pay the bills, they're not going to respect you because they providing the money, not you. You just somebody just there. You're there for protection. They can get anybody to protect them. I don't understand. But if anybody sees a man driving around in a black or a dark SUV with a little girl in a car seat, please call the police. Let's get this young girl found. Some of these things I just don't understand. Anybody got any comments? Any commentos? Nope. All right, let's keep it going. Where we going now? Let's go to Houston. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go to LA. See if we can hear anything more about this death penalty thing. Let's check that out. All right, Los Angeles. Cameron Terrell, the Palos Verdes teen who was acquitted last year of a gang-related shooting in South LA, is back in police custody. But why not shoot everybody up? They can't put you on death row. Why not?
Teen acquitted last year in a gang-related homicide is tonight back in police custody. Cameron Terrell is now 19 years old, was arrested last night by the LAPD, booked on a felony, and is being held without bail. Police will not reveal the nature of the case against Terrell, but they say his new arrest is related to alleged felonies as an adult. The LAPD says the DA's office is considering filing these new charges in juvenile court.
Okay.
Researching the right mattress is...
Okay. How much time we got? Hostage a heist murder. Boyfriend of slain child's mother arrested, charged in connection with case. I still had time, man. That's sad. 7:28.
Ellen, the outpouring of support from the community continues here in Hacienda Heights at this growing memorial for 9-year-old Trinity Love Jones. Her father, you can see him behind me, and the young child's grandmother have been here most of the afternoon. Earlier, however, they were in court where they came face to face with a man who authorities say killed Trinity. Sheriff homicide investigators say 38-year-old Emil Lamar Hunt is responsible for the murder of 9-year-old Trinity Love Jones. Hunt is the boyfriend of the young girl's mother.
Trinity was trapped with a monster. Nobody knew.
The district attorney has charged Hunt with 1 count of murder. He appeared in a Pomona courtroom today. Cameras not allowed, but family members were present and outspoken, leading to a brief heated exchange.
Seeing him, it was unbearable. I wasn't myself. I'm sorry.
How did I feel? Enraged. I felt like a monster. I wanted to do to him what he did to her, or what was alleged he did to her.
Authorities arrested Hunt Saturday morning. He was sleeping in his vehicle parked in a lot near San Diego International Airport. Trinity's uncle says he last saw Trinity in December. She was with Hunt then and her mother, and he says Trinity wasn't allowed to get out of the car. Today, he has this message for Hunt.
Just own up, man. Just own up. Own up to what happened, man. Just, keep it real.
Yesterday, ABC7 obtained exclusive video of investigators and canines searching through Hunt's SUV at a local tow yard. Authorities say they have detained a second person of interest but aren't releasing any other details for now. Meantime, the family continues to grieve for Trinity and the loss of what they say was a promising life.
I just want us to focus on the love of my daughter and how she was just took way too soon. And she's an angel now,
She's looking down on us, and we're not going nowhere till we get justice.
We want to thank the people in Hacienda who discovered the child, my granddaughter, and the ones who, rallied around her in the community, and everybody around the world who adopted Trinity as their own.
And we're back live here at the memorial again for that 9-year-old child, and you can see her father there continuing to grieve her death. In the meantime, we can tell you that Emil Lamar Hunt's bail has been set at $2 million, and he is expected back in court on April 16th.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. At least for once we had a father in the story. So many of these cases, there ain't no father in sight. We had a father in the story. Problem is, the father left the girl and her mother for that woman that was standing next to him. If you were there, that man would not have been there. It took 2 of y'all to make that child. You made the child. You should have made the commitment to stay together and raise that child. You running off with another woman made her need a man. And she didn't choose a good man. She chose a man that probably molested and killed your daughter. They found the man asleep in a airplane parking lot. He had a car. Why he didn't run to another state? Make it hard for him. But why would you kill an 11-year-old girl? There are so many pedophiles that link up with women, and they come in with money, they come in with cars and take them on trips, and they don't care nothing about the mother. They want the daughter, or they want the son. The daughter is the younger, fresher version, and they wait for them to become the age that they desire, and then they make their move. And chances are, the mother is so happy to have somebody there to be in her bed, somebody there to take her places, somebody to show off to her girlfriends, somebody to help pay the bills. They're not even thinking about the children. They're not thinking about them. And this goes on again and again. We do story after story after story. Why are there so many Pookies and Ray Rays? And why are there so many desperate women to take them in? We know the answer. Because the children are not being raised by men who were raised by men. They're being raised by big boys that was raised by their mammy. And they big mammy boys. And the mother let them lay around the house. And then they found a woman, like their mother, gonna let them lay around the house and clean up behind them. And they can sit on social media all day, or they can sit and play their video games, or be outside on the corner with a drink in their hand, or sit out there on the porch and smoke weed all day. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Things ain't gonna never get better. We need to put the family back together. The family needs to be back together. Men and women, if you lay up with somebody with no protection and they get pregnant, you need to get married. You need to get married. And if she's not marriage material, you sure as heck shouldn't be sleeping with her. You sure as heck shouldn't be sleeping with her raw. You knock somebody up, it's your job to make a family and raise that child. The child didn't ask to come here. Your carelessness got them here. It's your job to raise them. They can't raise themselves, and it's not the job of society to raise them. It's not the job of somebody's boyfriend to raise them. That's your child. And you need to be raised by the two parents that brought them in the world. Nobody's going to love your children more than you. Stop putting it off on daycare. Because to be honest with you, if it went back to the way it was in the 50s, where the women stayed home, like Lee with the Beaver, Bewitched, the mother stayed home and ran the house. The man went out and worked. The woman took the money that the man had and budgeted it and made sure everybody ate, everybody had clothes. She was the manager. Children misbehave, go up to your room till your father come home. Then the father come home and deal with them. That's the way it used to be. Now it's just a woman with a bunch of kids that run rampant. We gotta fix that. We gotta stop it. We gotta find some way to get these children to stop thinking this behavior is acceptable. Anybody got any comments? Hello, anybody? Somebody? Hello? Alright, we ain't got a comment since 4:12. Alrighty, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Go ahead and fry me some chicken. I should take them skates out there and try to ride around before daylight. See if I can bust my butt a couple times. Alrighty, y'all have a good night. Like I said, if somebody's on, I'll go. If Law's on, if Francis on, Nike Girl on, y'all might see me in another chat. But I'm going to cook something. NXT came on tonight, and I got to watch JD from New York review on it. So I know, Naya, it's the second time you said good night, VDS. Good night, sweet Naya. Good night, everybody that's watching. There's 3 here. I will see y'all tomorrow. We got World Star. So hope y'all ready. What is today? Thursday. So we got Throwdown Thursday. So I got to find some nice videos for us to watch and comment on. Hope y'all enjoyed the show today. I hate to take days off, especially when we in between stuff. In between these new channels. Do y'all like the new chat? Should I make it bigger? Or is it showing everything? Everybody said the last one I had was too big. That you was only seeing like 2 messages at a time. So I put it down to the regular size. But I can make it bigger. And do y'all like the orange, or do you want me to go back to the red? Y'all can let me know tomorrow. Or those of you that might watch this. But I'm glad to say we're using the base of 2560 by 1440, which is true 2K. And we're ending up at 2000 by 1125, which is basement 2K. We've been red all day. Well, we've been green a couple times, but we've only dropped 1.8% of our frames, and we doing 30 frames a second, and we only dropped 1.8%. So I don't know if it's freezing. I have to watch it back. I don't know what it's doing, but I do know that the haters can say what they want to say. I ain't got to say it. YouTube says it right there. The current resolution is 2000 by 1124. 2000 by 1124. And so we're using a base of 2500 by 1440, giving you that illusion, but we still doing 2K. Now we missing 500 in the height, we're missing 560 in the height, and we're missing 1124 from 1440 is what, yo? Like 300, almost 300 in the height, but it's all good. I'm grateful. This is the best we could do with this resolution. I'm not complaining. If y'all get a chance, check out Nike Girl when she comes on in the morning. Francis is probably still on. Go check out Miss Francis. Go check out JJ. It's a lot of other people on YouTube other than this sector, and they are better at hosting than I am, because they can get people to talk. I don't know. I can't get y'all to talk. I don't know why, but I'm learning, and one day we're going to get there. So I will see y'all tomorrow, or later on today, I should say. Peace, everybody. See y'all in the chats.